Alright, I'm live, but I need to send a link so you guys can check that you don't hear. You can hear something, right? So let me.
Yeah, I'm going to the feed. I'm gonna mute my. But for some reason, your display name is coming up all funny.
How so? Oh, my name. I don't know.
Yeah, you see that on you see that on the screen?
Oh.
Why is it doing that?
Why is Woody a W2? Oh, why am I just N? Strange. Not even gonna let me. Well, Woody's on a W and I'm an N, so I don't know. It's not me. Streambot is running. Perfect. I mean, if I go on my phone, it looks normal.
Just
Alright.
change your name to Nikki.
Oh my god, come on, Nikki. Let's me. It's not letting me. Maybe I need to update my Discord. Hold on. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
That didn't work. I don't know. Discord is acting up for me. Howdy. Hey, Johnny. We're just waiting for Great One and then we can start. And then do you see everything's going good or
Johnny, how's the sound?
do you hear any overlapping?
I think they have to wait. I feel like
It's 20-second delay, yeah.
like we'll be talking, and then 20 seconds later, people will be like it's overlapping, but we'll see. But if you don't have YouTube open, then I think we're fine because the audio was capturing from your side.
Oh, but because I think it was desktop the issue, but I have desktop turned off. The only thing you can hear is my mic and the Discord mic.
Okay.
That should be okay. Perfect. Good.
Okay.
Hello, Lithia. That's how you say it, right? Lithia?
Letha?
Lita. Or Lithia. No, there's no Thea.
Welcome.
Lita. Sorry, I'm really bad at names. Trust me, I'm terrible with names. Alright, I'm gonna pop this out. Gonna close the YouTube. We have the Discord up, and the OBS is up. Gonna make this a little bigger so it could be easier for me. What's funny?
Just reading a
Rhymes
DM.
with Keith. Ah,
I'm just writing a
really?
DM from
That doesn't
someone.
rhyme with Keith. Very unique name you have. I'm just N. Mystery N.
Where's G1?
I don't know. I just texted him. He said, "Give him a sec." He's getting on or gonna
What
get
are you
on.
doing? Was he also taking out his dog to the walk?
I didn't ask details.
No, that was me. Dog's already walked.
Good, 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 good.
I mean, we can go and get started, I guess. I'm sure he'll.
Yeah, let me.
He'll pop in when he can.
Yeah, because I mean, we've got Elite Wars in 25 minutes, so.
All right.
You're not gonna stream it? You still gonna do that?
No, I think they'd rather me not.
I don't think we care.
See? Listen to Mama Bear. She knows what's up.
I am the mama bear.
That's what he said. Oh, he was like, "Oh, can I invite Mama Bear?" I'm like, "Who's Mama Bear?"
Oh, it's right too. Nikki, we should start, eh?
Okay.
All these
We're gonna.
podcasts are nothing but dudes except for Dickie and yours. So.
It's cute. Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, in the
I guess that's the
game, the
allure.
majority are just guys, and then you got the other majority that are guys pretending to be girl with their girlfriends' profile pictures, because usually majority of them are Asian that do that. And then you got us, the
There's
minority.
like 11 of us that play.
But I don't understand where you guys are getting all these like monies and like sugar daddies from though, because that's not happening over here.
What do you mean, you guys? What are you talking about?
I'm not doing
It
something
ain't
right.
me. It ain't
You're
me.
getting marriage proposals, okay?
I don't know.
It's
Maybe
not
it's an
KB.
earlier. Maybe it's an earlier nation phenomenon because it was really bad in 233. 524 is not as bad, but like I'm also Mama Bear. Like that shit don't fly.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
no,
be a sugar
you
mama for
problems.
them?
You'll be on fire. Your city will be on fire. There'll be no troops left.
Don't mess with Mama Bear with her cubs.
All right, Nikki,
Exactly.
you want to do your little intro bit?
All right, intro bit. Welcome everybody to my podcast. It's your girl Nikki. Today we're gonna talk about 524, a how do I say it? An unstoppable nation who has uh, who has won many events, including global finale. So today we have KB, Maddie D, and Great One, who is running a little late, but he should be here anytime. Maybe he's busy saving his damn, who is Superman's girlfriend? It's not Mary
Lois
Jane, that's
Lane.
Spider-Man.
Lois Lane.
Lois Lane. He's busy saving Lois Lane. Um, so yeah, so we're gonna start talking about 524, how they became the nation that they are, and learn more about them, and learn some details that we don't know about. If anybody's curious, you can just leave a question in the chat and we'll just read it to them. So I'm just gonna look Lois Lane, I guess, yeah, I'm sorry. Another thing you guys are gonna learn, Nikki is not a movie person, not a what was the other thing? Car person? Now I'm not a comic book person. Was it Marvel?
Oh no, we're not having this conversation on this podcast
I'm
right
gonna get burned. You guys are gonna burn me tonight. Like burn the witch.
She really hates chihuahuas.
now.
Like
It's all
Oh my
good.
god, shut up, Maddie.
Moving
I'm
on.
sure
Let's
I'm sure
let's get on.
let's get on. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna ask you guys today is, can you introduce yourself? We're gonna start with KB first. You're gonna introduce yourself and you're gonna tell us your game history in the game AOO.
All right. Hey, this is Kill Billions, also known as KB. I started like everybody else, bored during COVID. Started off in Nation 233, which was kind of a shit show of a nation. We honestly never won a void because there was just so much infighting and civil wars and general fuckery. Year and a half into the game, I decided to quit, but went over to pre-merger 524 and followed Fellatio and met up with Zoso, who really shaped that pre-merger nation. It was a bunch of prior players from other fucked up worlds basically coming together to build a nation that we could play in long term. Got some great big spenders like Iris and Hatch and Shaggy that joined on. And so very much pre-merger, we had a world where it was like-minded individuals playing for the good of the nation. And then, worked hard. We got the merger with Maddie, and, the rest is kind of history.
So Chicken is asking, was 233 core? The alliance, the main alliance, was the main alliance named Core?
Yeah. So there was BKO, which I was a part of for a long time, and Core, and they were basically constantly fighting against each other. And then back then, it wasn't as much of a pay-to-play game as it is now. You had some super big spenders, but everybody else was just kind of average players. Between the two big warring alliances and then the big whales in that nation, there was just always trouble.
I'm guessing because were they like Korean alliance or Chinese alliance? Or was it a
Yeah,
mix?
I would say BK was mainly American. Core was mostly Korean. There was also some more mixed alliances in there. Big Japanese alliance. And I think it was mainly just the personalities of the R5 from Core and then the R5 from BKO. Leadership teams, I was that R4 back then, and there was just a lot of war over territory. I think it was mainly just ego wars, though.
So typical Civil War type of nation.
Exactly, exactly. And for those of us who started over in pre-merger 504, like we had already been down that road and knew what happened and had all left behind, 30 plus cities and really wanted a nation where we're going to spend the money to start over that we could play for the long time.
And how did you met Maddie and decided to move to 524?
So for me, I was already in pre-merger 524 with LCK was the alliance there. And so that was led by Felicio and Zoso and also one of the Koreans, Chain. I think one of the interesting things, the contrast between my old world and that new world, was we actually merged with the Koreans. So just individual relationships, forming those player to player, really had a lot of peace and just sort of agreement, people coming together for the better of the nation. And I really think that's key. And I think that's very much post merger what Maddie and some of the other leaders have done in 524 today. It's about talking to each other, connecting as individuals, and really working towards the good of the nation and trying to set those egos aside.
Interesting. Maddie, try to can you see everyone in your Discord alliance or does mine not work?
Say that again?
Like doing it at everyone in your Discord?
Yeah, you did,
It
I
works?
believe. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. All right, thank you, KB, telling us about your history in the game. Now, Maddie, what about you?
Mine is much shorter. I poked around a little bit to play tower defense, and I jumped from I don't even remember what nations I was in, but I never got past like C15 or C20, and eventually I ended up in 527 and met some great people there, like Great One and whatnot. And we were a very top heavy nation in 527, meaning our we had three very big spenders, and we were just very successful because we had three people carrying, and it was a very much a contrast to what we have now. So like I said, my history in this game is very short. But for the
Very
most
sure
part,
indeed.
yes, 527
Like,
is essentially my first nation that I took seriously, if you will.
so you came in because you thought, like everybody else who has joined this game, that it was a zombie tower defense.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought. I didn't spend a dime the first 3 months either. I saw people spending, but I wanted to learn about the game before I started really spending. And then once I did, I really regret it. I'm just
We
gonna
don't
be honest.
speak of such things. We don't
What,
say we
regret?
regret. We don't regret,
Oh,
right?
if if I could go back and change one thing I did in the last 2 years, it would be play this game.
Oh,
I
don't
think
say
we all feel
that.
the same
I,
way.
Yeah.
I love the people, but I really don't like the game anymore,
It's
man.
like I wish I met you people in a different type of settings instead of
Yeah,
this game.
yeah.
Oh man. Maddie, you should really call Great Moon because he's late.
You know, I can give you Great One's history if you want.
Sure, come on. You're like his what's the word I'm looking for? His representative?
I can be his representative. So Great One started in my nation 527, and he had a an itchy spending finger, and essentially just bought everything that was in the damn store. And he was actually not in our alliance early on, and then we kind of realized that he didn't really know what he was doing. He was just buying stuff. So or one of our guys, Death Angels, like, hey man, if you come to our alliance, we'll teach you how to build your city and be strong and not have these crappy officer skills. So we brought him over, and kind of the rest is history there. An interesting fact is Great One and I actually live in the same city, and we did not know each other prior to the game in real life, but we've since met on several occasions, and there's another two folks in our alliance that are very close here as well.
Oh, he's like, so I guess like, and like every other whale out there, they have the how do I say it? The issue of the itchy finger to
Ye-
spend and buy everything. Did he buy resources pack by any chance?
Oh yeah, he bought everything,
So
absolutely
everything that
everything.
you shouldn't be buying and wasting your money on.
Well, early on in the game, how do I word this? There aren't other avenues to get resources. So early on, especially going up to like C26 or something like that, you pretty much got to buy those RSS packs just to get there until the farmers get their mass producing farms going.
Back in my days in 85, you will have 10 farms and you will farm daily to get to be able to get to C30. Some people will have 50 farms. And
Yeah,
that was during
that
COVID. It was during COVID, so people had time. People had plenty of time to do that.
No, and some people do. I mean, I've got 5 farms. Everybody, I suggest everybody have 5 farms, whether you're a spender or not. I mean, you're gonna save some time and money. I don't know about time, but I mean, if you spend 10 minutes a day on 5 farms, you'll have plenty. You'll just be uranium locked.
Well, by that time, there was no such thing as uranium.
True, true.
Yeah,
Back
it
in
was
the
easier
good
back in the
days.
day. Yeah, back in
yeah.
the good days. Much easier.
Well, I will say my biggest problem in 524 now is the carpal tunnels from collecting all the coin gifts from Great One purchases.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that's the secret for you to be fast in grabbing the gifts. You know when people release gifts like gold gifts, speed gifts,
Oh,
teleports.
oh, it's insane.
So because of that, it's good practice for your figure to be fast enough and be able to catch it. And yours is my witness. Yours is my witness that I am the Speedy Gonzalez of the gift catching. I'm the always almost always the first one to grab
Ni-
the gifts.
Nikki is, I don't know how she does it. I don't even bother trying. I know I can't compete with people who like these seasoned gift catching veterans on Alliance chat. There's just no point in even trying to compete with these people. And Nikki, every time she's got it.
Like I said, it's collecting those coins from them. Those carpal tunnels are will make your fingers stronger and faster. All right. So, what was the next question? What are my questions? I can't find them.
Sorry. Are managing, how do you manage egos from so many big spenders in one place?
You want to take this, KB, or you want me to?
I can kind of start off. Honestly, I think it comes down to the individuals. We are extremely fortunate in that our big spenders, yeah, I mean, they've got egos naturally and they're competitive because, why else are they here? But they're also really great about wanting to be part of the team and helping others. We've got, like Maddie said, kind of took Great One under his wing. Like Zoso took a bunch of the new guys who started off in 524 as their nation under his wing. And it was just really setting that culture of, yeah, we've got the whales and they have their place and we need them. But at the same time, you can't just have 3 whales in an alliance and win everything. You've got to have those core average players And that's what makes the team strong. And I think our big spenders know that, and definitely respect that.
Well, that's a first for me to hear that. Usually when you have a big group of ego from big players that spend a lot, it's kind of hard to change their opinion of the smaller players. Like they expect everybody to put as much work as they do, but it's you can't if you can't spend the money, you know?
Yeah, we don't have that mentality at all. I mean, we expect everybody to attack and do their part and whatnot, but we know that they can't keep up. But the main thing that how we control it, in my opinion, is we all when we merge together, we all kind of set a common goal, and that common goal was we're going to destroy the lock servers because they have been killing our individual nations. So it's our time to shine. And when you kind of lay that out there, we all just got on the same page with that goal in mind.
I see. I mean, that's good. That's a good thing. That makes the nation, the alliance, progressive.
Yeah.
Like
So
that what makes you guys what you are now, like
yeah,
almost unbeatable.
yeah, we have no ego problems whatsoever. We have not had one since merge that I can think of.
So I can say your only headache is when people do not read your massive messages in the mail and they just ask you like what we were supposed to do. Oh, I couldn't attack that. I didn't read.
No, and that is a struggle. I mean, I'll put out messages, and then case in point, I'll put in a message about Titans to everybody. I need everybody to fix their damn Titans because you're crippling us in group attacks. Well, then 2 weeks later, people will share their Titans, and I'll be like, dude, you didn't listen to a word I said. Like, reset.
But Maddie,
The,
I need the speed. Let me put all my my frags in the little boot that makes me go faster.
oh my lord, no.
That's a topic for another podcast called "The Day in the Life of NR5."
I know it's coming on next Friday. No, this Friday. This Friday we're gonna have a
It
podcast
is
about
this
that.
Friday.
That one
I
will be
was
2 hour, two
so,
hours plus 2 hours plus 2 hours. I mean,
hey,
we
what
could go
matters
on
if
that
we're
talk.
having fun, if we're having a great time, doesn't matter how long it is, right?
That's
Yeah,
true.
but
I don't know.
you're gonna make
I
everybody
think
hate you.
I think like R4 and R5, you just like you're permanently in facepalm mode. Like
Oh yeah,
seriously?
24/7, 24/7. Like when you're R5 or R4, you deal with the most stupidest things that you wouldn't imagine dealing with outside of the game. Or maybe you could, but it's like inside the game you deal with it and it's like I can't believe people can be like this. Your light works in like 7 minutes.
What? I'll stay on while Elite War's going on. I don't care.
Yeah, I will too. I'm
I can
defense, so
I can multitask.
This is going to
yeah.
be amazing.
Can we watch?
Okay, Maddie, I say why not? So they can get mad at me.
I didn't set it up ahead of time, so
Okay.
I'm on my computer right now and I'm playing the game on my phone.
Ah, okay. I mean, you can join on your phone on Discord and just screen share
If you want.
if you want. I'm not forcing you. No peer pressure.
If you can talk and game at the same time, we'll just keep talking.
I can do
Yeah,
it.
you can do it. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let me
There's
pop up.
there was one of the things that KB was talking about in terms of how CCB like really values the average player and having like a core group of that, and that leads to the next topic, which is how do you manage that small fish big pond mentality where less powerful cities or the average spender feels out of place.
So that is a real problem. KB can probably speak better to this as a whole, but we have had, a few people that have left, and they just feel really out of place because they're used to, they're a C34 pre-merger, they're a big player. They can get top 10. Post-merger, they're lucky to get top 100 at this point, because our alliance is just so stacked. So, trying to empathize with those guys is I completely do, and I get it. And to be honest with you, KB was in that boat at one point, so she can definitely speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. Because I had always been R4. I'd always kind of big one of the big kids, and then when we merged in with everybody else, all of the big dogs became sort of more average dogs. And Great One really overshadowed everybody. But again, I just it's hard to talk about it other than just saying that 524 is a very special place. CCB is a very special place. And I
What kind of
think
special we're talking about?
very special.
I mean, it's little things that we
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
and just it's stupid shit, right? So like Doom Arena. In Doom Arena, people like to speed just to get it done and over with. We had to make a slow lane for the non-speeders. And that solved a lot of issues, as dumb as that sounds. We
yeah.
basically
Uh,
said no speeding in the slow lane.
Yeah, because like for me, I didn't want to spend money on speeds for Doom. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
why would you
everybody's
do
speeding in
that?
Doom. Yeah, well, everybody just wanted to get it over with. I'm like, dude, this game, now that we've merged, is so much more pay to play. And I'm not sure if that's going to work for me. And I don't think that's going to work for a lot of our, mid to slower people. I mean, mid to smaller people. But just making a slow lane in Doom
I don't.
is,
Like
Can you
it's like the
can you
highway.
explain that concept? Like, what does the slow lane do?
yeah. So basically, you've got multiple paths to get to the end.
Yeah.
Anybody who takes the high road, there are no speeds. You just go through, you fight your battles, and you get there.
Yeah.
Anybody, particularly our big boys, want to really play and also get it over with, they can take middle and bottom roads. But that way, everybody actually ends up with points.
Yeah, but
Because
it
if you,
doesn't matter how you score, though.
It doesn't. It doesn't
yeah,
matter how you score, but it's just
it's a mental thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can get why you said it. I can understand why Maddie said like this is stupid, but it works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you want to know what's even stupider? I've kicked somebody out for speeding in the slow lane.
Did you burn them though?
I didn't burn them. I just kicked them.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we will boot for not listening, but you get a second chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate in 52 there's no second chances.
I do like that.
Well,
You
about
kick
it.
and burn.
it depends on what the infraction is, right? I mean, for speeding in the slow lane, that's a second chance. I mean, let's be honest. And most things are at this point for us.
Yeah.
You know, that reminds me when you go to the highway and you're on the fast lane and then there's somebody going slow.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I mean, it's the little things. And I think a lot of it is people voicing, hey, here's what I'm feeling. Here's something that I'd like to change. And then just listening to that and as much as possible, making those changes.
Nikki, can you turn Matt's volume up a little bit? Someone in chat
Turning it up.
asked.
Maddie, say something.
Yes.
Does he sound louder?
Can you hear me?
We'll find out in 20 seconds. You guys have an elite four in 1 minute.
I know. I'm getting in there. That's why I'm a little bit quieter, trying to set my fleet.
Don't forget to put your Lorraine on and then you switch to the other one.
Don't give away
Yeah.
secrets.
Don't give away secrets.
Basics. This is the basics. Everybody
No,
knows.
it's still a secret. It's still a secret. If you don't know it, it's a secret.
Well,
It wouldn't be a proper podcast if V-Time did not call me a dictator. So,
Oh, good. So volume's good.
all right. So Johnny Ringo had a question for Maddie. What are some
Yes.
things 524 does for joint nation efforts in Void Wars and Global? Pros and cons thus far.
So, wait, say that one more time. Joint nation efforts in Void Wars and Global.
I think
Pros
that
and
kind of
cons.
falls under like the question that we have coming up, which is like how you work with other alliances in 524, since TCP is obviously the number one.
Is that question now or for later?
So you can answer it now.
Depends. How distracted are you?
What? Hold on, just give me 1 second.
Yeah, I can talk a little bit, and then Maddie can kind of finish. Yeah, again, I think it's you got to form those relationships with people in other alliances.
Oh, thanks for the tip.
Oh,
Thank
sorry.
you.
Sorry, I got distracted. You got to form those relationships with people in other alliances. And I think because we came from a merged world, it's maybe easier because we played with some of the people in the smaller alliances. And it goes back to what Maddie was saying. Really, our goal is to beat the Lux servers. Everyone in the nation can get on board with that.
Yeah, specific to Void and Frenzy though, we really don't team up with the other alliances. One thing that we do is, if people don't bubble and shield during Purge, we let the individual alliances handle their own issues. We do not, go looking for other alliances trying to kill them. So every alliance kind of manages their own bad problems.
Yeah, I've had major problems with pre-void purging, and if you just kind of let them govern themselves, as long as they are doing it, it seems to avoid a lot of conflict.
So let's say how did you handle the nations that had drama within them? Like obviously if there's too much drama, it's harder for them to work together the way you want them to work. So how do you manage that? Or was there any of that issue?
I mean, from 233, where I came from, which was the ultimate drama nation, we didn't manage it, and that's why we actually never won a void. And when they finally merged, most of the leaders and the people who were really playmakers in 233 just kind of disappeared and became less relevant. It was those nations who had figured out how to work together that we merged with that were much more successful.
So there was no issues while you were pre-merging to 524.
I hate to say it, but like at least for us, there wasn't.
Oh, aren't you guys lucky?
This is like the dream merge.
The dream merge. No
Yeah.
dramas, easy, simple. Yes, everything's yes. No, okay, we're good. Let's go. Done.
Yeah, like there's no conflict in our nation at all. Aside from the weird, you got your little, trolls and whatnot. You're always going to have those, but overall, there's just no conflict, and it's kind of weirdly peaceful.
I mean, it also helps that, all the whales are really in CCB, and we've agreed to keep it a peaceful nation. So if there's somebody in another alliances that wants to start shit, we can shut that down really fast.
All right, hold on.
Yeah,
Seriously, Ritashi, seriously, you just subscribed now? How dare you subscribe right now? You should have been subscribed to me since last year. I'm
He
hurt
maybe
now.
he maybe did what Jessica did last time, which was unsub and sub again just to get his name
I
on YouTube.
know. Bunch of asses.
wow.
Johnny had a follow up question to his first one, which is when you build the relationships, and I'm assuming he means the relationships with those other alliances. What's the reaction for not meeting a compromise, and how has that worked so far?
So, okay, let's be clear. Most of the relationships are already built because going into the merge, they're, 30% of CCB has a relationship with players from those other nations, if you will, right? So we've got the relationships already there. And what was the second part of that question?
Like, if people didn't meet compromises, what was sort of the consequence of it?
So whenever we set up our alliances and whatnot, we had three very, very strong alliances from three very, very strong nations. CCB could obviously only use one of them. So we essentially picked who we wanted to be leaders of the other top two. We said, we will give you this alliance if you do this, 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 and this. There was one instance of, I think it was the number 3 alliance. The guy was just playing favorites. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. And we basically forced him out. And we got a new leader in there.
How did
I
you
have
manage to
another.
force him out?
What?
How you managed to force them out? Usually when players are like that, they're really hard to force out of
Yeah, they're
leadership.
stubborn.
Well, when you have the entire nation on the same page, it becomes much easier. Because their alliance wanted them out. I essentially laid down the law and I said, if he's not gone and you guys don't pick another leader, we'll see what happens. I mean, it was a threat. I didn't want to do anything, but we knew he had to go because it just wasn't working.
You heard it, people. Maddie D laid down the law. But there's one specific question for KB by Bodizi. He asked you, is it true that Maddie is such a big bully that the only reason G1 blew up in BP was because he was scared Maddie might put out a hit on him?
What?
Take it out on Bodizi, not me. I'm just reading the question.
Yeah, no, Maddie's not a bully. It's interesting. When we talk about 524 and we say everybody's on the same page and it works well. I mean, there's still those smaller alliances. When you're looking at the 5th biggest alliance and the alliances that are just kind of there and haven't even made. They don't even have like 30 level cities. I think all of the people who are not in the big alliances, who we dictate the rules to, definitely think Maddie's a bully because he is the voice of CCB, which is, kind of the voice of 524. So you have the people who are just basically farmers always railing against the rules and basically just thinking we're mean. And it's the rules and Maddie dictating those on behalf of the nation that keep us a peaceful nation and keep us the top nation. I mean, it's...
So
Maddie basically has to play the bad guy.
Yeah,
So
and to be clear, the rules that we set are not the rules that CCB says. I mean, yeah, we come up with the premise of them, but then we present them to the other alliance leaders, and we give them to them for feedback, ask them if there's any problems, blah, 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 blah. We usually have unanimous buy-in on everything we try to do.
Yeah, and Maddie gets labeled a bully because he's really the voice of that.
I see. So that's what the D in Maddie D means, dictator?
Yes.
See, you're a tyrant. You see that? You even have the D
I
in there.
have a question. I'm really curious about this one because you guys were saying how the worlds before they merged, they were all really strong. Like I think it was 536 was one of the larger ones. Like it had a lot of battle power. And so you've got these 3 worlds that all have very powerful alliances. Obviously, not everyone gets included into CCB. And how do you manage that? Like, were there a lot of hurt feelings? Like, were people resentful of being left out? And what did you guys do there?
So we were very methodical about it. We put all of the players into a spreadsheet. We pulled, their reputation, which is the good thing at the time, for how active they are, their Titan levels, officer levels, all that stuff, their kills. We threw all that into a spreadsheet, and we basically whittled down. It was about 200 people down to 100. And there were a little bit of hurt feelings, but you're always going to hurt somebody's feelings in this game. There's nothing you can do. As long as you can explain the why, it goes over a lot better.
How do you manage
person?
And that's the thing too, is like the more I listen to you guys talk, the more I'm just bewildered sort of how lucky you had it. because you can tell someone, well, your reputation is not very good, and that's why you don't sort of get a pass to be in the #1 alliance. But that doesn't stop someone from saying, well, I spend a lot of money even if I'm not active, so I deserve to be here.
And Lesia
Well,
saying she was left behind.
Well, and the other thing that we did, I know I did, is for those players who didn't make it into CCB that were really on the cusp. Maybe they weren't as big, but they were getting there. They were getting good at the game. Reaching out to those players and be like, "Hey guys, just give it some time," because you're always going to have people who get zeroed out, who don't like the rules, who decide to quit. And over time, people have left these alliances and other people have come in. Again, I think it's just, reaching out and saying, hey, like, we still know you, we still want you, just be patient.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard for me not to talk about 524 as a really special place, because there was so much work that went into the merger. I wasn't part of that pre-merger planning. But when you get like-minded individuals who really put in a work, I mean, the amount of time Maddie and Zoe and others spent on the merger is mind-boggling. So it didn't happen just by accident.
Thank you, Casey. She said that she loves my videos and saying hi from Texas. So there's a lot of people who plays this game from Texas. I mean, Texas,
Hey,
it is a pretty big state.
yeah, but we're cool. Hey, I'm from Austin.
Did you guys win your Elite War?
we're still fighting.
You still how
Yeah, I'm
how many
distracted.
minutes left?
33.
Oh damn. Got a long way to go.
Yeah, they're just clearly stronger than us, and they're trying to beat us through attrition.
Are they speeding?
Speeding's allowed in Elite War.
No,
I
I
mean,
know. I'm just saying it's 113 speeding on you. As usually
Oh,
when
was
we
that
get our Elite Wars and it's like a tougher alliance, usually they'll try to speed
oh yeah,
or
they're.
try to beat us through the like get us somewhere and then try to speed behind some that you know what I
Well, I
mean.
mean that's the name of the game in Elite Wars, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Elite War's expensive if you think about it.
Like we're.
That's why there's no speeding in Doom. You got to save it for Elite Wars.
Exactly. Maybe you should send them to the slow lane in Elite War
Yeah.
for timeout.
Yeah, so speaking of resource wasting, like speeding in Doom Arena, what were the spending habits like before you guys all merged, and what are they like now?
So the spending habits pre-merger, and everybody will agree, are drastically different. Now, our three nations, we had some strong players that more or less were carrying folks. Now we have so many strong players that no one person is carrying. No one person has to, spend an excessive amount of money to catch us up because we've just got so many big dogs. So a lot of the spending actually goes into building our cities and castles as opposed to, gold for speed ups and whatnot. So as a result of this merger, we're actually getting stronger collectively because we're
100%.
spending in the right places.
Yeah, 100% agree.
I mean,
So,
and just case in point, an Elite Wars pre-merger would run us about, 50K gold. Now, not so much. And we're competing at a much higher level as well.
I know you could probably get to us. Maybe.
Yeah, we can challenge you. I mean, we're not going to win, but
That's okay. Easy merit, easy merit. Think about it.
easy merit
You're
for
giving
who?
me easy merit. And you get yourself easy merit. And no spending. It's a budgeted Elite War. It's all about that merit.
Yeah, for people who aren't aware, CCB is ranked 23rd in the Elite War ranking.
Maybe that's why Great One is not here. He's doing Elite War.
That is exactly why he's doing his great one things.
Yeah, he needs full concentration.
Yeah, I just got booted out twice, so there you go.
Yeah. I guess that happens
The
in our
joys.
Discord.
Yeah.
Where's Goose?
Where's
Goose is
Goose?
playing Diablo. He's not here.
See, Goose is a smart man. Just saying. Everybody should be playing Diablo right now.
I mean, I could be playing
So
Diablo, but my PC, I don't have a good PC.
Everybody should be listening to Nikki's podcast right now.
Well, you can do both. You can do both.
Yeah, you can put me in the background. You can just hear me in the background while you're playing Diablo and sinning.
Sinning?
Yeah, that's the theme of Diablo 4. You go and sin. I only played like the beginning parts until my laptop gave up on me, so I need to get a PC.
Spoilers.
What you mean
I
spoil?
apparently
Oh
I
my
haven't
god,
got that
it's not a
far
big
yet.
it's not a big spoiler. It's not a big spoiler. Don't overthink it. See, Barry's
So
doing both. Barry's smart. I like Barry, guys.
Yeah, but Barry doesn't have Elite Wars going on too.
Barry could care less about Elite Wars.
Yeah. Poor Barry. He was our first Elite War after merge. It
Really?
yeah, it ended pretty quick. Actually, they did very, very well. They did a lot better than most of the other teams against us. So I will give his nation props.
For Barry Nation for trying. Johnny Ringo says, Great One is discussing with Camel on buying the company so he can ban Maddie the Tyrant.
I mean, why would Great One want to ban me? That's mean.
I don't know, Maddie. What did you do? Outside of
I
breaking your rib.
didn't break my rib. I bruised my rib.
That was spectacular.
You want to tell us a
Yeah,
little bit
so
about that, KB?
they didn't believe me.
We didn't believe him. He's like, I'm going to the hospital, and we're just laughing it off. And then all of a sudden, we're like, oh shit! Like he really is.
So it happened. What happened is it was about like 2 minutes before global conquest semifinals, right? I sat down on my couch, I had my iPad. I realized I didn't have my pen to my iPad, so I took off running in the kitchen, and the pen was on the floor, and I like skid across my kitchen on top of that pen and landed on a stack of tiles because I'm remodeling my kitchen. And yeah, I bruised my rib really bad. So I played Elite Wars the first probably 30 minutes, like laying on the ground in pain.
And all of us just laughing at him.
Man, CCB should appreciate you. You still went to Elite War in pain.
It's not like I could do anything else. I was stuck on the ground. Like I really couldn't move.
Poor Maddie, nobody believed him.
No, yeah.
We didn't. I mean, why would why would we?
Is Maddie like has Maddie been always lying? Like, let's see, how do I give this example? You know how Red Riding Hood, nobody believes her because she kept lying?
No.
Oh yeah, no. It was just like I don't know. We just didn't believe him. We thought it was a joke.
You should break another rib, Maddie. They'll believe the second time.
Wow. Oh my God. I don't even know what's going on in this Elite War.
I don't either.
Like,
I want to
I,
see.
I'm
I
trying to
can't.
play defense, but I get distracted.
I, I'm so confused at what they're doing. Like,
There seems to be no strategy, and that's hard to defend.
Okay,
Give
give
us
me 1 second. All right, 1 second. Dantros is saying we need a translator. Al momento no hay traductor. Cuando el video termine y se procese, estará los subtítulos. Con los subtítulos puedes cambiar el lenguaje para que puedas entender, pero por ahora lo que único puedo hablar es inglés. Eso para explicarle. No, so I had to say that once the video is done and it renders, there'll be subtitles for people who do not speak English, and they can enjoy the podcast and read the subtitles. That's all I was saying.
I did not know you. Is that
Yes, I
Spanish?
speak Spanish, yes.
I see.
Yeah. All right, next question. Or wait for you guys to finish it, like,
No, you can go.
Yeah.
There's an interesting question from B Time, and I think it's something I know Maddie's talked about this before in various Discord servers, and I get the feeling that he's constantly having to repeat himself because people just don't understand like the depth of the wealth that is in 524. And so what B Time is saying is, I want to see how CCP does for a month without Great One in Elite War. And the follow-up statement to that is, I like to see how alliances do without their whale.
If they're not listening to Maddie, I'll try to explain it. Like the beauty of CCB is honestly, we are a strong alliance without Great One. Like we have so many strong cities and smart players. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like if Great One left, then there would be, yeah, that would be a bad day. But it's it goes back to just one player can't win at this level. You can't just have one or two players and win win global. You can't do it and win triangle. You've got to have a strong team.
Well, in Void, Frenzy, those types of events, it doesn't matter if Great One's playing or not. I mean, he is an X factor. He's always going to generally score the most because when you have the privilege of not needing to ever shield, it makes things so much easier. So, he doesn't have to spend the time hiding troops or worrying about counterattacks and all that kind of stuff. He just attacks whatever he wants willy-nilly. I will say that in Triangle and Duel, if we did not have Great One, we definitely would not be as successful. There's no bones about it. You're really only as strong as your whale and putting all of your strategy behind your whale. So there's some truth in what V-Time's saying during certain events for sure.
yeah, because thanks to the whales, you get a bunch of gold shields. If
Well,
your whale is the one that's giving you gold shields.
well, no, we all put up our own gold shields. That's just part of what we do. But in Triangle and in Duel, a whale is really an X factor because even if the other team has a whale themselves, they have to save their whale until they find your whale, right? So it kind of sidelines whales in a way because if that whale takes off too early and gets clapped, they can't get past our whale. I mean, there's some definite strategy to it for sure, but it's basing everything around the whale. And I will say, we faced like 5-2-4 in Duel, which was great, but they never even found Great One. The reason is because Lead God was saving himself for Great One, and they just never got to that point.
Maybe he wanted to do a 1v1. Oh, Lumberg, hi! Welcome!
Hi, Lumberg.
Hey, greetings, everyone. Greetings.
Greetings, everyone. This is Lumberg. No, Lumberg, you got a great. I love your greetings. It's okay. I'm joking.
It's okay. It's any even infamous notoriety is good. I'm not as notorious as Maddie D though. So, but sorry, don't let me interrupt. Keep going.
What is
what
Maddie
do you-
Z's notorious greeting?
Oh, not for his greeting. He just he has a troll magnet.
Maddie loves trolls. He finds one, he goes to it.
My problem is I don't know how to hold my tongue around trolls.
I said this to you this morning too.
Well, and it's
You
a
just can't
character
help yourself.
it's a character flaw, sue me.
Yeah,
Like,
Maddie, you enjoy shit talking. Yeah, there we go.
well, I honestly, I never start shit talking. I'm gonna be clear. Very few times will I start it. But when you start shit talking, I'll use a couple. I'll use Raz in
Oh my
particular.
God.
He started shit talking months ago, man, calling us trash, blah 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 blah. I mean, you do that, we're gonna request your ass in void. I'm sorry, and
For
there's
context,
another.
guys, there's a player named Raz, and Maddie and Raz are the best of friends ever. Like, they talk every day to each other. There's so much bromance in this relationship. But with that, they had a boy together. And Raz said that he was not gonna fight because there's some civil war going on his nation and he got hit. And that was on Woody's podcast. So you can go on, Maddie.
AKA, he was scared to fight. He unbubbled for less than 1 minute the entire time. I stayed unbubbled in his world, or in his world most of the time, for more than 8 hours with full troops in my city.
Well, you expected him to go hit you?
Exactly. I mean, I want the man to fight, right?
I mean, we all knew it was not gonna happen.
Well,
It was not gonna happen.
shit happens.
Shit happens.
Oh, Johnny Ringo just wanted to say that. I think Matt meant to say that. Was it in Duel or Triangle War that you faced Lead God's Nation? Because you said you faced 524, but you are from 524.
Oh, sorry. It was 4-5. Sorry. We faced them in both, but it was in the finals in Duel that we faced them, which was a very fun finals because we had an agreement with them that no gold items, just strictly purple items, and it was way more fun and way different for us. We had never done that before.
Oh yeah, a raging duel or triangle is like the best thing you can do. It's much more fun because it's less, you don't have to expend. And if everybody plays along, then it's just an easy budgeted event. That can be fun.
Yeah, no, it was definitely. I wish I could do that every time. It's just hard to find. It's hard to
Trustworthy
trust
nations.
people. Yeah, it's hard to
Yes.
trust people because all it takes is you've got an alliance full of 100 people. You could have one person throw up a gold shield the last 5 minutes just to be a dick, you know?
Hmm. And then you have the one person who did not read the mail, and then there they go. They put their buff when you said no buffs.
Save it for the next podcast.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I'm wondering if we can get the rest of the whales in here.
Well, I see Oxy.
Boogie, I see
Boogie
Boogie
is
too.
somewhere in there. Barry's busy playing Diablo. And the Great One's still not here. Probably still in the light war. How much longer for your light war?
16.
Damn.
It's going to go the distance.
How is it looking like?
I mean, our little guys are out of troops, so
Oh no. Tell them to heal.
It's going to come down to towers.
yeah.
I hate when it comes down to towers. Like, you're out
Yeah,
of
the one.
gold, you're out of heals, you're out of troops. Now you gotta go speed to the towers
Well,
somehow.
and yeah, and that's our problem. Like we're all out of speeds, heals, and goals after global. Like we are poor.
See,
How did global go for you guys? I mean, you
was
won,
it?
so it must have gone well.
Yeah, it went well. Let's see. I mean, round one, the two Chinese merged nations teamed up against us, and it was the most expensive global round I've ever had in my life. It that round
You want
probably
feed,
cost
yields, or both?
both. That round probably cost our alliance about 50,000.
Oh god.
It was
Wow.
insane.
Just two merged nations, nonstop sending. They only stopped in like the last 5 minutes. The,
50,000. The whole alliance.
yeah, I mean
Estimated,
it
not actual. It's just estimated.
estimated, yeah. I mean, just the amount of heals we went through was insanity.
Yeah, I could imagine. Like, I'm guessing from if I looked at your what you posted, it looked like you went hard on round two and round three. Because I
No,
see
we went
round
hard.
one. Yes.
So,
Yeah,
so we
we won round one, and then three. We were behind going into round three.
Yeah, so we had an agreement, a gentleman's agreement with 522, and we basically said, you know what, let us take round two, 1 and 3. You take round 2. You guys will be guaranteed second place. That they said cool. They ended up, we beat the lock servers down so much in round 1 that they didn't even play really in round 2. I guess they were out of heals, so they scored the full 45K. They got this wild hair up their ass that they could go for the win. And so they actually went for the capital in round 3, and we just kind of shut them down.
Tell me, what do you mean? Thank God 385 doesn't have Nikki. What you mean by that? It's like saying too bad they don't have me. I mean, yeah, I guess too bad, right? You see Elmi in the chat. We got Bullet. He takes all the gifts. Oh, they're talking about the gifts. Like people who have fast fingers and they can collect all the gifts, you know?
It's a talent.
It is a talent. But like I said, if you practice every day in collecting those coins, your finger will be fast and stronger. V time, I'll take Nikki. Get out of here. All right, Yor, let's go with the next question. I think the Elite War is almost done.
Yeah, we're actually basically finished with our 524 topics and can move on to,
Oh
rail
damn,
opponent.
already?
Yeah.
Great
We're
one.
ready to
Great one was nowhere to be found.
yeah.
I have some 524 topics, if I may. So, Maddie, can you guys, who schedules your Elite Wars? Can you challenge us? We can't really beat a lot of people, but we feel like we would have a good match. We don't spend a lot of speeds on Elite Wars, so you and us are about like a couple of apart. You're like six or so ahead of us. Like you're 22 or 28. So if we're in the same kind of days, ask your coordinator of Elite Wars to challenge TSK.
Yeah,
Lumber,
we
are
can
you
do that.
telling me you came on here on this podcast just to make a deal with Maddie to schedule Elite Wars together when I'm trying to do that with Maddie and he said no?
No, I'm just putting some public pressure on Maddie because we're talking about how great 524 is, so that he gets kind of pigeoned into it.
So let's be clear. We don't have delusions of grandeur. We know that we can definitely be beat. Let's not get that twisted. We just had a chaos land with, I think it was 219. They bent us over so hard sideways, it was disgusting. But
Damn.
we knew that they were going into it, and I was glad that we did, but so we could save our stuff for global. I mean, so any nation that's been merged twice, there's a huge difference between having 9 nations in one and having 3 nations in one, even if those 3 nations are 3 pretty strong nations. But we will definitely give you a shot, Lundberg.
Yeah. I mean, come on, we're not 219, we're not 52. I mean, we're the poor guys.
Well, if you heard the
We'll
song,
give you a match.
Yeah, we can do that.
just play the TSK song in the background.
No, we'll show
And,
up for that one. You don't have to sing. That's a good song, Nikki, but we'll show up for 52. We may not show up for Elite Wars. I mean, I don't think we will. Most of
I
the
don't
top
think
20 we can't beat.
we don't see you in a matchup, so you're fine.
Yeah, we're too far down.
I see.
But we will take a rematch for Void.
No, get out of here. Don't put that stress on me. Right now, right now I have 273 for Boyd. And judging
Oh, that should be fun.
how, yeah, that's kind of like you guys. But they have more alliances from what I gathered. There's like a lot of activity in there. So like you can get 6 alliances with 80 players from what I'm seeing. But it could be
I
a
mean, you're,
fun one. It looks challenging. Hey, the more challenging it is, the funner it is, right?
Yep. So I just want to say one last thing about 524 is I'm very, very thankful to be a part of this nation. I mean, we're doing great things. Everybody's on the same page. Like I said, egos are very much in check. We are, it may not seem like it to some, but we are a very humble nation for the most part. But if you talk shit about us or anything like that, you can bet your ass that we're going to come for you. You know, that's just what happens to shit talkers. So people call me a bully, but they may not understand the underlying premise of what has led up to this moment, you know? So
Yeah,
I'm being
see,
called a bully right now because we are quote unquote picking on a nation and have them on in void.
can we talk about that one time someone reported you from your job for bullying?
No, let's not talk about that.
All right, let's not talk about that. Lumberg, so a lot of 52 players are saying no and having Boyd with you. It was
It
a unanimous vote that we do not want Void with you again. I'm sorry, my friend. We need to meet other people. We can't do
I
Boyd
promise
twice.
this time we'll like hold off on the recruiting, right? Because I know there's no Sayas, to even up the score. But we'll just make it like we just want a rematch, just a redo.
No.
We'll probably still not attack you, Nikki, even if you're unbubbled for 8 hours. But we'll try to do better.
I got him a little fatter in BP, so there's no way for me to hide. But yeah, no, I'm sorry, Lum. Don't do no. Meet other nations. It's much fun to meet a different nation than meeting the
so
same one.
are you saying you're scared of 285?
I'm not saying I'm scared of 285. We already beat them. I don't want to go and do the same thing again if we have to meet them again. Like, would you rather just meet new nation every time you have void? Like, I'd
So,
rather meet different nations for every void. I wanna meet different people.
but there's only so many nations that are in your weight class. I mean,
I'm sadly, yeah. I
it's
mean, hey,
slim
we got
pickings.
273. It's the first time. Lumber Boogie
I think
says that at least make a few traps for us, and then maybe we'll bite.
we might make accidental traps. We don't really do traps, unfortunately. I think most people set up traps for us, so there's really no time to hit traps. We're aggressive, but it's really difficult to go port into the enemy nation and void now because everything's so unstable. Yeah, the strategy has to change. So
Hmm.
you're almost better off not porting into the enemy nation. So we have to adjust. I guess everybody
Adjust.
does.
Yeah, adjust to the lag, to the broken game.
How bad was lag in Global Conquest?
Oh my God.
We'll get to
Made it
that once
unplayable.
Boogie gets here. Is he coming? Because I see him in the chat, but he's not here.
So while we're waiting, I will say I logged. So because 52 had like 120 people in the finals, sadly 52 did pretty well, but there's just not enough active people in there. So I didn't feel bad of logging into my I think Dead City in 52 just because everybody was like, hey, we can't watch the Global Conquest. Let's see what's going on. So I logged in with my T4, C31. Just took a couple of videos just to show the rest of TSK kind of what was happening.
All I tagged
But
Boogie.
I left immediately after, so I didn't. Just in
Yeah,
case you guys got close to 250, but that looked very, very unlikely.
so okay. You got one more topic for 524, or do you want to proceed to GC talk? Maddie,
Oh, I'm good.
you're done with your
Again, I'm
Libor?
no.
We got 4 minutes. We're good.
Damn, 4 minutes.
Who
Yeah.
who are you fighting?
MKI
You said it was
in
the Alliance Mad. It's not Mad?
MKI.
Oh, then yeah, that's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, it's 4 minutes left down to towers.
I think they're like second alliance or top one. I'm not sure. No, top one is BMF, I think. But all right, well they're doing that. We're gonna jump on to global. Global for now. So we reached global for now. It was 52 versus 30 versus 255 versus 273. Maddie from 524 and KB, they had their global final as well. I'm not sure which nations they went with against, but we do know that they did win the finale. Congratulations, guys. You did good. Unfortunately for
Thank
us
you.
in 52, we got our ass kicked, but I think it was mainly more about how broken that global finale was. It was ridiculous. Let's talk about that. I will start with Oxy.
It was borderline unplayable. In round one, I don't think I've ever seen lag that bad. Buildings wouldn't render. You'd hit speed, it'd react about 15 seconds later. And there was, a good solid period where it just completely froze. I don't know. So it's frustrating for them to put out that product in their final after all the money that people have invested over the last couple of weeks preparing for it. And it is what it is. Round three, you couldn't even teleport, only random. So it was a good time. But overall, it was fun. 255 did great. They're the champs. Deserved the win. And, I think our issue was definitely numbers. We don't have enough.
I know. 255 surprised me. I didn't expect that from them. Like, I expected
Yeah.
273 to win. My vote was for 273, I'll be honest. I didn't expect 255. But I guess after they burned Naruto and then everything changed, now they're like a very well organized nation.
Yeah, I think they had a recent merge. We're supposed to get some new folks in, but Naruto was with them. He was in him for it.
Thank you, T. I just gonna say that in round one, it was a fight against 255 and 273, and just us 81. 30 was like nowhere to be found because usually their rounds are not round one. Um, when we try to do our attacks, it was lagging so bad that even though we did see that we had 80 players online, we only had 50 or 30 people arriving to where we're telling them to go. Like people were getting kicked out, they couldn't speed in, they couldn't see the building. It was just unplayable for us. And I'm sure for 255 and for 273 it was the same issues, but I feel like we had it like way worse.
I think it
Like
amplifies our numbers issue, right? Any kind of lag. So we're losing people, but when they've got 250 and we've got 150 at the most, obviously that's going to have a big impact.
yeah, and then when we do attack and we had a tower, they had the strategy. Like guys, it's a strategy no matter what people say, like, oh my god, they're cheating, they're working together. It's a strategy. For GC, if you and another nation agree on something, then yeah, it's what's the word? Viable? Maddie, help me here. Did 524 had agreement with another nation in GC, or you guys just went on headfirst solo it?
So we had an agreement. We just won our Elite Wars. My God, that was painful.
Oh my god, I'm
Um,
Oh,
poor.
congratulations!
That was brutal. So much gold.
Damn. We have to go bully MKI. They lost against 524. Let me go to Discord. I have to bully Rudolph. But
I mean,
yeah,
it was a valiant effort on their part. They just didn't have the speeders that we do. Like they never broke past the like 2 towers out when holding towers. I mean, we were holding them for the last 15 minutes, which is pretty rare.
so it was in so by the last 2 towers, that's how you won?
No, we won like 12-2. What I'm saying is we kept sending to their last towers closest to their base so they could not move.
Nice strategy.
It's all good.
So
As
for
long as we, long,
GC, who did you had an agreement with, or what was what did you guys what was your strategy for that, I guess?
so we had 560, which is a locked nation. We have 528, which is a locked nation. Both of them are very strong individually. And then we had 522, which has a player that's on my shit list. And we made a deal with the devil with 522. I think they realized that they could not win it, just against us. So our agreement was basically we take capital round 1 and 3, they take capital round 2. They took capital round 2, but then they got a wild hair up their ass and decided they wanted to try for round 3, and kind of broke their deal. But it is what it is. We still won.
Yeah.
I mean, we won pretty bad.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
ended up being we ended up being 5-2-4 against 2 nations in round 1, and then 5-2-4 against 1 nation in round 3 because they stayed out of it round 1, and then we got to round 3, the other 2 nations were just spent.
Oh yeah, and in GC, all you really care about is 2 rounds. Let's be honest. Very few nations have the power to go 3 rounds. Maybe nations like 30 or something like that. And who won at the very end globe one?
Can you tell G1 to join us, or
Oh yeah, sorry,
255 was the winner of that one.
255. Yeah, did they go all 3 rounds or just 2?
I think
They
went
went
all
all
3.
3. They ordered. I believe they shuffled around people and alliances based on availability.
Yeah,
Because it definitely appeared that way, right? And they had different alliances attend different rounds.
yeah. I mean, that's a very hard thing to pull off. I mean, you have to have a lot of players to do.
Yeah, not just planning and moving people around, and I mean, it's weeks of work, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I mean, everybody outside of maybe Globe 1 and Globe 2, you just need to shoot for 2 rounds. That's it.
I mean, for round 1, from what I saw, it was it made more sense for 255 and 273 to work together if they wanted to beat us, both 30 and 52. Like I said, this is more of a strategy for GC. It's not cheating, because a lot of people are like crying about that. Oh my god, that's cheating. Why are they working together? It's a strategy. It's some
Yeah, it's a strategy, and Nation 30 and Nation 52, they have a reputation. And if people can do whatever they can to squash that reputation, I mean, it is what
they're
it
just
is.
mad because we hit their cities. Hey, 273 was hitting my city. Am I mad at them? No. You can hit all you want. I have heals for days. Not anymore. I wasted all my heals, but I'm pretty good at hiding, okay?
Look, I don't know why people get mad about hitting cities. I mean, that is a legitimate strategy. You have a tower team and a city team, or our city team is just great one. But
The more people you remove from their tower team, the better. I mean, it is what it is.
yeah, I mean,
Especially
eventually,
if you're outnumbered. If you're
yeah.
outnumbered, they have the most
And
focus, and a couple
I
of
tell
bigs pick
him
them up.
to hit the smaller players too, because the smaller players are less likely to heal, and then we focus on the big players later. Because the big players, they're just going to keep healing, and it doesn't really matter what you do to them for the most part. It's when you take out all of those small people that things get a lot easier.
Yep.
Yeah, you take down their meat shielders,
Yep.
which apparently that's what the small players are. You guys are the meat shielders.
Well, they're the meat shielders and the tower holders, right?
Yeah,
Your big players are bouncing from tower to tower, taking them. Your smaller players are holding them. Everybody's got a part.
yeah, everybody got a part.
And the way we do it is I lead. We've got our speed team, and then we've got our main tower team. I lead the speed team, and KB leads the main tower team, and it seemed to work really well for us.
Hi, Barry. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about GC. You
I
were there with
know.
us, right?
Yeah, I was there. I was listening on YouTube.
How was the experience?
It was cool. I didn't really get a chance to really play too hard with you guys. You know,
You
like
were in round 1 or round 3?
I was round 3.
Oh, so after we found out that we had 273 for Void, it made more sense and logical that it was best for us to save up what we have and focus on Void. Because from what I heard, ever since 273 merged, they have not lost one Void. And they were the alliance, well, the world that beat 30 in Void. So we expect some good battles and a tough one.
Oh, I
Um,
know.
yeah. So round 3 was more of let's have fun. I didn't even join in because, like I said, I had nothing. I didn't join. I had nothing. And I was sleeping. I worked, so I didn't even join. So what do you guys do in round 3?
Roxy.
Well, I just held, like 4 towers, 4 or 5 sources, and ran around and burned stuff mostly. I mean, it was hard because you couldn't teleport. So I was trying to random teleport to a place where there were 3 or 4 energy sources, within a 2-minute walk.
For how long you guys couldn't teleport?
The whole thing, their location tracking was messed up. So every time you tried to teleport, it with an elite teleport, it thought something was there.
Did that happen to you guys in 524?
The teleporting, it wasn't a problem. I had a huge problem on my phone. Once I switched to my iPad, it was a lot better. It was like night and day. So I
See,
don't know.
I was super laggy and kept getting kicked out.
Roxy just kills everything.
Well, what was happening is like I would call a tower and then I would send and it wouldn't send, and then or if I would send, I hit speed ups and then it wouldn't register. It wasn't, it was terrible. I didn't really
Yeah,
try to
that was round
teleport too
1.
much.
That was round 1 for me. But in round 3, I mean, occasionally, right? So I'll do I've got a bunch of returning fleets, and I just sped halfway across the map because somebody called the speed team, right? Then I'll teleport over a spot or something and get all my fleets back real quick so I can go again. Couldn't do stuff like that. I couldn't, it just made it more difficult.
Did anybody try to hit you, Oxy?
No,
No, nobody
no,
dared. Nobody wanna
mm-mm,
taste that jelly belly.
He's too.
no. I
Too
haven't,
fat.
I haven't been attacked at all this entire season. I didn't get attacked.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
too
I'm
fat.
probably too fat.
I saw
Mm-hmm.
Ram got attacked.
Ram got attacked.
Yeah, he only had only 10 mil troops on him, but they took him down. I suspect he didn't have Titans or Plane in either, but still.
Well, Ram is
They,
not there anymore. It's a whole different player. I'm not sure if they
right.
both play the same
So
style or
well,
yeah.
but either way, the city still has the bones, right? The good bones, and I think that's the first time he's been taken down, as far as
I
I
mean,
know.
if the city has the good bones but does not have a good brain, it's not gonna work out.
Well, we're
Yeah.
talking about defense here. You don't need a brain for defense,
Yeah, you shield. You don't let yourself get hit. Or you hide.
or you always have 5 fleets out.
That too, if you could. And if they catch you without Titans, then it's just game over kind of way.
Yeah, if they catch you without Titans, this day and age, man, it sucks so bad.
Right,
Uh,
Lumberg? How important are Titans?
Man, I miss the days before Titans and definitely before Planes.
Yeah, those were easier times. Like before Titans and before Planes, it was easier for people to know, oh, I lost because of this. But now there's too many factors. It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Well, the plane is completely randomized in a lot of ways. So there's no more elite or uranium mines testing like there used to be. It sucked.
Oh, and we can't forget about the island.
Oh, the
Gotta factor
island,
the island too.
which Raz says I claim is the best thing ever. Jeez.
It's
I'm in
gorgeous.
denial that the island exists still.
Mine's lacking. It's like I
Mine
don't
is too.
buy anything for the island. I'm more focused on the Titans because I feel either way they put all this Titans still should be priority or like they still are strong make you stronger than someone that may have a higher plane maybe. But if my Titans like high and are strong and are gold and has everything, then yeah, you can beat anybody if they have a better plane or island stuff.
I mean,
That's just my
Yeah.
honestly,
opinion.
like playing at purple is a game changer. So when the planes first came out, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But then I had people that should not have been killing me when my Titans are better, when my officers are better. The only thing that was different is that damn purple plane. So it's like the latest thing they come out with, whatever's new and shiny, is going to completely upend the last 10 new and shiny things. Right? It's like Titan equipment just broke the mold. Drill masters had a huge effect on things. I mean, it's always something.
Yeah. And I mean, and it's like the old days before the Titans. Um, the average player could keep up. The more stuff they add, the more they're making it an elite game.
I mean, the more things they add, the harder it is to focus on what you should be upgrading. Like, where should I put my money
Yeah.
at, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's probably for the smaller players, definitely get advice from the whales. Obviously, if it's a giant whale, it doesn't matter. They're just spending money everywhere. But the stronger players can tell you, focus on your officers first. Here's the officers to focus on. Ask for that advice so you don't just waste your money on, something you don't really need.
But make
Go for bang for your
sure,
buck.
yeah, but make sure you ask the right whale because not all
Yeah,
whales think alike.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So maybe, ask at least 3 whales and go with 2 out of the 3 suggestions.
I mean, for the most part, and this is generalizing, I would say the whales don't know as much as some of the higher level spenders below the whales, because the whales are just going to buy everything. They don't really care about how impactful something is over something else because they know they're going to get everything.
All right,
Yeah, like Yeah, like for us, if you've got a strong 36, 37 that is a good player, I feel like that's the best person to ask.
All right, I just want to say one thing because apparently I have some Spanish speakers in the chat. So veo que hay gente que habla español en el chat. Yo lo que voy a decir es que en este momento estamos hablando sobre qué un jugador debería comprar cuando no sabes qué deberías comprar con los Titans o el avión. Si eres alguien que no tiene mucho dinero contra alguien que tú sabes que tiene el dinero y puede comprar muchas cosas. So de eso estamos hablando para que, sepas. All right, you guys can continue.
I understood dinero, and that means this game is about money. So yes, I understood everything you said.
I'm saying we're talking about if you're a player who can't, if you're a player that does not spend as much, but do not know where to put your money in, we're talking about that, like where you should focus on and who you should ask. You should ask a player who's a whale, but like I said, not all whales know what to buy either. Like there's whales that they think, oh, I should focus on the plane and neglect the male titan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and like for me, I mean, even your 34s, right? There's 34s with high BP because they just recruit the hell out of everything. And then there's 34s who have built their cities the right way and made the investments in the officers, in the equipment, in the Titans.
I
I think
remember when. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. No, I think BP in this game, I think a lot of people see that, and I think it can be very misleading because you can have really high BP and have a weak city.
There's a
yeah.
lot of that.
There is a lot
I
of that.
I just don't think a lot of people realize that.
I mean, there's two different types of BP. There's the uranium mine BP, and then there's the city BP. Usually, the city BP, most of it is from troops. If the person has a lot of troops, let's say the person doesn't
Yeah.
have a lot of troops, then you can kind of see the raw BP from power, the actual power, because when the BP is all about troops, does not mean you're powerful. Troops does not equal power. What equals power is your titans, your island, the warplane, your officers, your equipment, obviously. So that's like the raw power of a city, not the
Yeah.
troops. Unless you have
So-
T13s.
So something that's different than when, a lot of the older players started is because there is so much crap you can spend on. I would not spend on equipment for the most part. I would get that slowly over time with infinite zombies as best you can.
Yeah.
But there's so much, a new player starting out, it's hard to say start here because there's just so much shit that needs to be done.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, there's so much. I remember, maybe KB knows as well. Remember back when equipment had this little gambling to it before they changed it to, oh, it's a timer instead of no, they changed it like it will. What did they change? Like it changed to 3 seconds instead of being 5 seconds or 10 seconds.
I don't
Anyway,
know if I remember that because, like, I just like with equipment, I always gamble on components, and I always freaking lose.
for me, I remember that I will always gamble. What I would do is I would put orange on the left side, like 3 orange.
Yep.
And then when the countdown went to 5, where it was like a timer, there was like oh yeah, it was more like oh, you got 5 hours. This is gonna take 5 hours, right? So I would
Oh
speed it up
yeah.
and I will reach to a certain number, like a certain time of hours. If I remember, it was like 5 hour 00. When I get to that, that's when I press it and I will get a gold. There's a video. I have a video that I gambled like 3 times and got in gold 3 times
Dude,
Yeah.
by
that is
using
the
that
same
trick.
thing. That is the same thing as people walking into a casino with their lucky hat.
Yeah. It is.
I'm just built different. But then they changed it, so it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, no, it was a coincidence the first time, and it never really worked.
Yeah, it totally was, and I
Yeah,
remember doing that. It's
I,
like do you have the lucky
I,
hat? I don't.
Well,
I
and people say like right after the game gets done with an upgrade is the best time to upgrade equipment. And then you see all these screenshots of people. Oh my gosh, it works, it works, it works. Well, the problem is you don't see the screenshot of all the people it didn't work for.
exactly right. You hear it from 8 people, and you think, "Oh my goodness, it's good." You don't hear it from the 850 people that tried it and didn't get it.
I don't know if this is still going on, but I remember in Facebook back when a lot of people will post about equipment like, "Hey guys, should I gamble this?" And it's like a level 5 purple, and then they have all this orange, and they wanted to move it to level 6. It's like, no, you shouldn't gamble. Or was it a gold 5 to gamble to to be a 6? It's like you should not gamble that. You should like wait and go
Well,
straight to gold.
the best ones are the ones that have like a level 5 gold and are trying to go to level 6 gold, and they're impatient, so they have like one purple piece in there, and they're like, "Should I
Yeah.
try it?" It's like, dude.
Dude, get out of here. No. Stop asking and just be patient.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that I learned that lesson before. I was like, I don't gamble now.
Gambling is bad, kids. Don't be gambles.
Well, one thing we can all agree on is when we first started this game, none of us knew a damn thing about how to do equipment. It was so bad. We all made so many mistakes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember I used to have greens and blues when I was like C25, thinking, oh wow, I'm doing great. Ah, those were the good times.
Yep.
Yeah, much easier those days. There's also when I was in World Nation 81, there was a what was it? Was he a C38? It was a C38 Korean, and for odd reason, he had all gold except for one that was green, a level 6 green. It was the funniest thing I ever seen in my life. Because, like, how impatient do you have to be? Like, why go down to a green level 6?
Nah, it happens. I had it happen in one of my cities. I was not
Not
happy.
very.
It was
How
an accident.
impatient do you have to be?
And I was an accident. I hit like messing with like the materials, and I hit a green one on accident. And
Oh,
uh,
damn.
yeah,
There really should be an undo button.
yeah, I had to redo that.
I mean, if there's an
Sorry.
undo button, you could just keep gambling until you got it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. And
like
that does
maybe a
not.
one time use
It's
only.
gold now and gold level 6.
What are you saying, KB?
I was like, there should be at least like a one time do over.
Yeah, but that does
Just,
not produce camel money.
Yeah.
yeah, just like people want a one-time nation transfer.
Oh no, please, close.
Yeah,
Just,
no, we're just asking our VIPs for a way to burst bubbles.
only
That's
Just
easy. Just hack the server.
$500.
Hack the server. Get your Russian hackers. And then done deal.
we'll get you the nation port. It's got in the bubble breaker.
Like, what would be better, a bubble breaker or a nation port? Like, if you're like in a shitty nation and you get this
Neither.
one opportunity,
Neither are
let me
good for the
let me
game.
finish my question.
Well,
Again,
I'll tell you.
neither are good, but like, hey, if the opportunity arrives, which one would you rather have?
It depends on how pissed off I am at one particular person that day.
Is that why Great One
Right.
is not here?
No, I'm texting him. He's got an iPhone. It's
People
not,
people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, he clickbaited us. There's no Great One in here.
well,
He
he's
doesn't.
a
He
man.
doesn't exist. He doesn't
He,
exist. It's really
he's
Maddie
a,
in disguise.
he's a man of few words anyway.
Yeah,
He just likes to murder stuff in game.
but people expect I put him in the flyer. People expect him to be here, and now I'm looking like a
I,
clickbaiter.
well, he had every intention of being here. I don't know where he is. I've texted him a couple times.
Tell him he's hurting my feelings.
He'll cry himself to sleep, I'm sure.
But anyway, so what do you guys think? If there's a bubble breaker or a one nation port, we'll start with Barry.
Bubble breaker.
KB?
Like a one-time bubble breaker.
No, all the time bubble breaker. I mean, if it's a one-time thing, nah, nation port. But
Yeah,
if it's nah, bubble breaker forever for sure. I'll have so much fun. I don't care where I'm playing.
I would say even if it's unlimited bubble breaks, I still got to go with a one-time nation transfer since I started out in a shit show nation. Like, rebuilding a 31 twice sucked.
Yes. Starting from zero again. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But imagine zeroing people that are thinking they're safe all the time. Like War Report can be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like where I came from. Like you had to bubble all the time because you could get hit at any time. It's just sucked.
Honestly, I'll buy you 1031 bubble breaker. Maybe.
Yeah, bubble breaker for sure. Fuck the nation port at that point.
What about you, Lumberg?
I'm happy with my nation, but I did start over just to KB's point. I think mine was a 31 as well. So I'm really glad that we started over because we took like all of the good people and started over to form 285. But I think the nation port is actually going to make Camel the most amount of money, right? Because that's what people will spend gobs of money to do. But actually, no, you might be right. Bubble breaker, there's a lot of hatred in the game, so there'll be more frequency of using the bubble breaker. So that and people have suggested this is a good idea to Camel. I don't know why they don't use it. I mean, they might as well. It's going to make a lot of money.
The whales are absolutely ridiculous. Like, just imagine, like, well, for instance, Oxy. He's already bad enough as it is. Imagine Oxy running around with Bubble Breaker. I mean, no one's safe. No one. The only way to be safe is be a monster, like be stupid amount of BP.
Well, you would have to have like $100 super bubble, right? Or something like that you have to put on in order to combat the bubble breaker.
Exactly. They have to have a counter to it, otherwise people will lose their mind.
Yeah, I mean that would
stop
just make
talking
people
about
quit.
this. Please stop talking about this. You're giving Camel ideas already. I can see them. Oh, this is good. This is
No,
good.
it's
Let's
terrible.
Let's go with
gold
that.
bubble breaker buff for $100.
Let's just go.
Or that $60 golden barrier shield to protect
Well,
yourself.
they do have that bubble breaker in Ironblood.
Well, it's just actually just
Yeah,
change.
that's what. And that. Yeah, I would say let's just do a $1,000 one-time nation transfer button. Like, let's just go with that.
$1,000 just to transfer to a different nation?
It should be 10,000 in my.
It should be more. Yeah, because you're seeing you spent more than that.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys, $10,000.
You would create.
I mean, you would
super
spend
fucking
10,000 in the city.
I mean,
create
it shouldn't be one time. I just want to hop down and kill shit.
But let's be logical here. Like, you can get a better city if you're catching my drift for less than 10K.
Wink, wink, hunk, hunk. You know what we mean, right?
Let's be honest with ourselves here. Ain't nobody paying 10K to transfer.
Yeah. I know people that would pay 10K to transfer every void, like just to hop around and I don't know, dude.
That's different. Those are the whales that are down to go just destroy things.
Yeah.
Those are the tyrants, Maddie.
That's the 0.1%.
Yeah, but yeah, I would easily throw down 1K to take my 31 to a new city instead of starting over.
Yeah, I want neither. Just to be clear, I think they both are stupid ideas, and I think they would just cause so many people to quit that.
So,
the
are you
game
like as
would die.
stupid as the new island item, which is a little plane, a little red plane that just shoots dust to your uranium fleet?
Hey, that plane puts -4 attack percentage. You don't knock
What you
that.
mean -4? Do you realize how much you have to put in to get that little plane?
$430.
And then you got to do that all over again to get it to a higher level. But besides, you
No.
probably will. No, it's like a one-time thing.
No, you can do it. You can get it to a higher level, but nobody's going to level that thing up
Is it that
except for
bad?
the mega whale. It's bad. It's terrible.
Mm.
Yeah, 4% attack reduction for
I mean, if it was
450
4%,
if you do it right, 600 if you're a dumbass.
if it was a -4 damage reduction, that's a different story.
Oh yeah, I'd be all over that. Be level 3 already.
So it's not reduction, it's attack.
It's attack
Attack
reduction. Yeah.
reduction
Hmm.
on
Yeah, gotta go
troops,
with that reduction.
right? If it was on everything, that'd be better too. But it's on troops.
Yeah, but then it probably will be way too overpowered, don't you think?
Mm,
Because then,
like
the
the warplane.
purple, yeah, because the golden warplane has that skill, the disruption skill, that you guys were saying that, oh no, they nerfed it.
They
What's that
did.
about?
They did nerf it.
What's that about? Because we don't know. I
So
don't have a gold plane. How would I know?
So in Camel's math, for the most part, percentage chances are not really percentage chances. It's like if you got a 33% chance of something, that basically means every third attack. And with the gold warplane, it would send out 3 attacks, and if you had like a 33% chance of silence, it would instantly and 100% silence the units with the most troops. Somewhere a few days ago, they changed that to where that silence is not 100% anymore.
They did the same when Titans came out. If you remember, they miscalculated something and they were ridiculously strong and they turned it down. They do it every time they figure it out, or it's probably intentional. Make them look ridiculous so everybody goes crazy and then we'll turn it
Yeah,
down.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a good change for the game. I think it's
Yeah.
bad for the people that said, "Oh shit, I have to have this," and normally wouldn't spend that much and got it, and then it's like, "Oh well, fuck you." But I think it's a good thing. I think the disruptor for the game is bad in general. That needs to be toned way down, Gold Titan or not.
I think it's more like a business strategy.
Well, it's what's coming next too, though, Maddie. It's just what is. How do you reduce chance of being disrupted? Because
Yeah.
that's what's coming.
I mean,
That'll
if
probably be the special skills on one of the troops in T13,
and you know
or part
everybody's
of
gonna
that
buy
new
it.
technology that's going to cost uranium, some shit like
Everybody's
that.
gonna buy it because it's worth it.
Yep, it probably will be new tech if they follow that same model and end up releasing new technology. One of it'll be reduced disruption.
You guys don't think there's going to be a new strategy officer?
I mean, I think there'll be
Like a third slot.
probably.
Weird feeling there's going to be a third slot.
That's what there's
What,
slot where?
increase fleet size even more?
Like the drill master's got 3 slots right there. I have a feeling they're going to put a third one in strategy.
No, they're gonna give you a third director, man.
I mean, that eventually will come for sure, but I'm just saying, I think they're going to give us the new strategy officer, and increase fleet size. And if C40 truthfully does come out, I believe that they will add a new entirely troop type.
So just to throw out there from the chat, a guy named Raiku is saying, "I just came here to ask if someone can adopt me. I'm cute and nice, and I play AOO." Mama Bear, will you adopt Raiku?
Yeah, I'm grandma, but yeah, sure.
Don't do it. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. You want no
It's a-
part of Raikou.
You don't want no Raiku. Intern deserved the win, but this America don't get it. Yeah, no, Raiku, nobody's gonna adopt you. I'm sorry, fam. You're on your own. Anyways,
Hey, I have a question.
sure,
General
what's up?
question. Is Raz actually still banned?
No.
Okay, so he's playable. Okay. I was just curious. Is
I
there
mean, why would
anybody
you think they're gonna ban him anyway?
Because he keeps saying he's banned, and I don't know. I can't tell when he's telling the truth or not. It's 50-50 with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't know. But is anybody still banned as a result of
No.
Vietnam Gate?
My 2 players are back. The ones that got
Okay.
banned. They're back. They're back playing.
Namgate is over.
Nam gate's over. No more going to Nam
Sad day.
until it happens again in a different country and then we have to go and fly there. Hopefully it happens in America, you know? Wink wink.
Gotta go nowhere. If it happens in America, God bless. Oh my God.
My God. It'll be a
Go ahead.
field trip.
We won't be able to send the list of names. It'll break the server.
I mean, in this game, there's
Can you
way more
imagine?
Koreans.
No, actually, do you know how fast camel stocks would rise if they did that in America?
Oh
How
my
Like,
God.
fast?
like
They'd
they
probably
would.
still make more money when we were all buying it for 10 cents on the dollar. It would
Yeah.
still be the high revenue day.
Dude, yeah, it would be probably their highest revenue day on record if they did that. Because like, people are so accustomed to spending at a certain price point that when you drop that shit by 90%, they're going to spend their life fucking savings. It's going to ruin lives.
Yes, it is.
The Americans are coming.
I
People-
mean, just like the
Like-
first time I got VIP and I could buy discounted coins, I was like, fuck, man, I gotta stock up. And that's like how much of a discount?
Imagine
5%.
$10 of a discount,
Oh
you
my
know?
god.
90%
I'll
discount.
pull out that credit card, American Express.
So
I mean, that's a 401k loan, man.
but if Camel ever did position themselves to sell their company, that's exactly what they should do.
Get legit pull out the 401k.
Artificial inflation of revenue by dropping all the prices. Have people go nuts.
Dude, that's how evil Maddie is. He actually consults for them on the side with these
Well,
ideas.
they probably would make more money if they just
Maddie's
cut
a
all the tech
snitch.
prices in half.
I
They do
am. I'm the
stuff
one.
like,
I
like they
snitched on
sell the
everybody.
weekly packs of speeds. Why don't they do that daily, every single day? We all need speeds all the time.
No, I
Yes.
think
Like,
that
some of that stuff is annoying.
everybody should get like 3 speeds per day able to bank.
Yes.
That, and then that lets your smaller players feel valued in speed attacks, during Void and Frenzy. Maybe you can bank a maximum of like 50, get 3 per day. The whales are still going to spend massive amounts of money on speeds. It's not going to change the revenue, but it keeps it more interesting.
Do the
That's just
whales
me.
ever convert their gold to speed? Like instead of, not pressing for gold, you just go to the to the
I
shop.
do. I do. I buy them in batches during the war rather than just clicking the gold button because
Yeah.
I get totally lost in how much I spend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As if I buy them, like I know for sure I'm gonna speed another 100 times or something, right? I'll buy 40 of them or something, right? And it just sort of gauges. And, okay. Unless if I've got tons of gold, then I don't really care. But if I'm working on, because we like during Conquest season, obviously we're going hard once a week. So maybe I got a couple 100,000 gold and 300 speeds going into war rather than
Yeah, I had to cut down
600 and 800K.
Yeah, like I had to cut down on spending trying to save up for this big vacation. And that's the only thing I bought was like speeds and heals.
I think we have reached to the topic of whale problems, the problems that our whales deal with in this game.
Farmers.
So, is farming
Catfishing
really a
attempts?
problem for the whales? Because I
Yes.
see, no, excuse me. I see a good number of whales who are good friends with farmers. It's like, don't touch my friend or I'm gonna burn you because I'm a whale. I'm stronger than you.
So there's 2 things that cause a civil war in this game. One is egos, the other is fucking farmers.
Don't be
Agreed.
fucking the farmers, Maddie.
What?
Don't be fucking the farmers, Maddie.
No, the farmers will revolt. Like it's. Oh, I see what you're saying. Never mind. Jesus.
Anyway,
I,
anyways, yes, farmers can be a
m-
problem, but I think the biggest problem is if a whale is friends with them. I think that's one of the biggest problems you could have as a nation if you're trying to reduce your leaders, people that leak a lot of points during events. If you try to burn those players and they are good friends with said whale, that person is gonna protect them, and then bam, you start a civil war.
Yeah.
so that's the problem is you have to kill the farmers earlier than that. You have to nip that problem in the bud early. Don't let those relationships bud.
But what if the farmer sent a nude? Nudes
Well,
were already
that
sent.
It'd have to be a damn good nude.
You have to, oh my God, that's kind of hard to do. It's like if you're a new nation and you still don't know people yet, like how this person's gonna play. I guess you can tell by after like what, 3 or 4 events.
yeah. By the time the first like cross nation frenzy comes around, you have a good idea of who's good to keep around because you're like 6 months in at that point. I think
And time flies.
it really does.
Hmm. So you guys never had that issue where a whale of yours was good friends with somebody and you're like, listen, this person, they gotta go. And your whale is like, no, they're good. They fight. And you guys have seen that, no, they don't. They're farmers. We don't want them here. They gotta go. And
Well,
then
I
what
mean, one
happened? Have you ever dealt with that?
I mean, one of the things that I've done, not since I've been with Maddie, but one of the things looked at is what I call the kill ratio. I'm like, I don't want to look at your BP. I want to look at your kills over losses. And if that ratio is not at a certain point, then you're a liability.
What about you, Barry? Have you dealt with that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Have you ever dealt with you have a whale in your alliance who's
No.
a good friend with a farmer and they're both of them are in your alliance and you're like, listen, this friend of yours, it's not good. We don't want them here because they don't fight. They're farmers. And your whale does not want to listen to you because they want their friends with them, you know?
Nah, we don't got any wheels in 385.
I mean, I've had a few
4.
instances of that, but the reputation system really helps with that nowadays, in my
Yeah.
opinion, because it shows you who's actually doing the bare minimum, like when fighting or even Medici, stupid shit like that, like who's actually trying and giving a shit.
You know, I don't really
Yeah,
pay attention
reputation's the
to
best way to.
reputation. Sorry,
No,
Oxy.
it's the best way to gauge activity. Reputation.
And that's harder in old nations too, because a lot of you guys, you guys don't give a shit about Medici or other shit that gives rep.
I hate Medici. My
But
score,
but
yeah.
in new nations, it is a really good gauge.
Well, yeah, like to see who you should keep and who you should kick out.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was one of the criteria, in 524 to decide who made it to the number one alliance. Is we did look at that.
Yeah, that thing came in a good time. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, if you're a new nation, you can use that. Back in the older nation, it was more of you look at the players' kill kill amount and death amount, and then also watching them if their bubble drops or what they're doing during said events. It's like a lot of looking around, making charts and writing graphs. Like, okay, this person is like it's a neutral player. They're not active. They're not fighters. You know, because
Yeah.
we in Easy One we have our little graph, little chart of players that how active are they, what events they do, what events they join, and it's like it has a little percentage thing where it says, oh, they're like 80% active or 50%, stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's what we used to exactly. That's what we used to use is that kill ratio, and then tracking. I used to have this massive Excel spreadsheet of like, how many times did you go into void and not bubble? There's a limited time, and then you're out of here. It was a lot harder before reputation points.
Well, and the alliance leaders and the big players, like we know your name for one of three reasons. One, you're a good player. Two, you're a leader of another alliance. Or three, you're a piece of shit player. If we don't know your name, you're so likely to slip under our radar. We're not going to worry about you.
So Roy has a question. What's an acceptable kill slash loss ratio for you?
Like for me, I took our alliance and just kind of look at the average, and that's going to differ from alliance to alliance and world to world. But it's kind of like if you're not at least like, I don't know, 6-1 or 10-1.
6-1 to 1.
So,
What about you, Maddie?
so 6 times this kills to the losses.
Oh, okay. What about you, Maddie?
Um, kill ratio. I don't necessarily look at it as a ratio. I look at it as how many kills you have. And if you have 0 losses, or a really low number, it's like you're not doing something. I mean, because everybody should have losses. So
Yeah.
if you have too few kills or you have too few losses, it's shitty. I don't care if you've got, 100 million kills and 20 million losses. That's perfectly fine. Or 100 million kills and 5 million losses. That's perfectly fine. I know you're
Yeah.
out there fighting. So I don't really look at the ratio, but just the fact that there's numbers there.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like if you've got a 60 times win to loss, there's something wrong there.
Well, I mean, I have a 60. I have 100 times win to loss.
And you're a problem. That's why.
Well,
Well, Maddie, you're a
part
problem.
I know. But yeah, I mean, it just depends on who you're fighting
Yeah.
and how high they are, right? I mean, you've got 300 million kills, 3 million losses is acceptable, in my opinion, because
Yes.
early on in the game, you are killing a lot of farmers and you're killing a lot of weaker players. After your first merge, those numbers drop down considerably. Like you start taking on more losses after your first merge, especially if you've got whales backing you.
I can say for us in 52, if your BP is higher than your kills, then you're a problem.
So great one would be a
Oh.
problem.
Yeah. Excluding the big whales, I'm
Excluding the
totally
big
in
whales.
agreement. Yeah, I'm totally in agreement.
I'm just saying, like, if you know the player doesn't do anything. They always bleed in frenzy, or they're just, not what's the word I'm looking for?
I mean, honestly, it's just part of being a good leader is off the top of your head who the slackers are, who the good players are, what people's strengths and weaknesses are. You learn that over time. Even players in the other alliances.
Yeah, because then you have those C-35s with 100 million
See, that's
with
no,
low
no.
kills and low deaths.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why we have BP limits on cities. Until you get to C-37, that's when you can decide if you want to go over your 5 fleets or whatever.
Yeah, but unfortunately for us in 52, if it's fat, we go and kill it. Right, Oxy? Okay, Oxy
Right
left me.
actually said something really interesting in chat, which is any player that up with his city growth is a future liability.
You play
Any
that what?
what?
Any player that doesn't keep up with city growth is a future liability.
Facts.
I should find that a really interesting statement. I'm sitting here thinking about it.
But I mean, how do you not keep up with city growth and play the game?
Exactly. It just means that you're gonna eventually lose interest, which means you are going to absolutely be
Hello,
alive.
have you seen our trolls? Have you seen our
Mm.
bleeders?
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
zero. They hardly have any city growth. So all they do is recruit and just give those points to the enemy. That's their purpose in the game now.
It's so nice of them, though. You
I
know,
know, right? Aren't they the sweetest?
they are.
Ah, so cute, so cute.
Should give them a medal. No, that's one way to get on my permanent shit list. You start intentionally leaking points to the other nation, like there's no coming back from that.
No.
All
I have
right, let's.
I have two questions from before. One of them has actually been repeated again. The first question was, I was mentored by players from 151, and now I play in 734. Everyone is new to the game, and all alliances are headless chickens. Do you have any advice that I can bring over to the newer players?
That's like a Maddie and a KB question.
Well, that's a tough question
Yeah.
because so some nations just aren't going to make it. You spend a month or two in your nation. If it's still a bunch of headless chickens, it's time to move on again, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you've got some organization, there's a clear path forward. You've got some rules in place. That's that's the start of when your nation has a chance to succeed.
Hi, about easy.
Oh, look
Hola.
who's here. Are you done
Hola.
chasing?
It was rainy here, so it wasn't like the perfect weather for it.
Oh, that sucks.
But Podizi Mike can answer that.
Make sure to do not go into capital rotations and do not give out city wars right from the start. Don't do that. You will not know who's who for a very long time, as well as especially the new players. They don't know how to play. They don't know what the game is about. They don't know what to do. A lot of times they will be mentored by farmers that escaped older nations, right? So those players will push, the rotations. They will push all of those things, and players will be scared to lose troops. So this is one of the things that I regret not knowing early on. In my nation was, from the get go, we did rotations, capital rotations. Everything was like super nice, super peaceful, and that's kind of like a big issue because you don't know who's who until the players, are already C26 plus, and you're going to have players that are just simply not willing to fight, not willing to participate, and all they want to do is farm.
Yeah, the game doesn't, in my opinion, the fighting game doesn't truly start until around C30. So, 1 through C30, use that time to fucking fight and just figure out the mechanics of the entire game. And it also keeps people more engaged. I'm not
Yeah,
saying go loot everybody's resources and blah 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 blah, but get out there and fucking fight.
well, this is a good point, right? Because early on, troops are extremely easy to replace, right? It's not like, the farmers are like, oh, well, I'm going to get to C30 and fight, or I'm going to get to C34 and fight. And, 3 years later, they're still not fighting because they're waiting to get to C38. But like, the C23, C26, all of that stuff is extremely easy to replace. Go out, have fun, kill troops, learn the mechanics, learn the basics of, attacking, of defending, and doing it in groups. And I think that will be huge for a new nation.
Yeah, to me, you don't go over 24 unless you know you're a good nation. If you get to 24, cut bait.
So
I mean, and
24,
you
the
can
mark to know if you're in a good nation or not.
Well,
To
and
me, it is.
you can get to 24 in what, 3 weeks, I think. It's pretty fast for a
I
big
got to
spender.
C30 in less than 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I had like absolutely no idea what was going on. But a lot of it is also like taught to other players. We have, quite a few like medium-sized players that are just going out, getting points, getting kills. So, those players were completely new. They started in like farm alliances.
And another thing is when you have displaced players from another nation, you kind of want to know why they're displaced. Because there's a group of people that move from nation to nation and just get kicked out because they constantly don't follow the rules or don't shield or don't do this. Then you've got other players that may have run away from like a whale tyrant. That's perfectly acceptable. Nobody wants a C38 on the loose when everybody else is C30. But don't take advice from groups of players that are free to play. I will say that right now. They can tell you how to build your city fast.
if they're Himiko. Himiko is a free to play player, but
She
she's
is
pretty
not a free
good.
to play. She got a part-time job so she can fund her Age of Origins addiction.
Okay, she's a low budgeted player. There we go. Because she does not spend as much as me and everybody else, but it's really low budget, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. No, those free to play players can teach you how to get your city level up fast. That's about it. After that, they're just going to get kicked out of the nation that you're in if you continue to play there, most likely.
But hey, it's better than buying resources packs.
Yeah.
All right, I see there's another question. Or are you still looking at the question at the top?
Yeah, well, it's the same question that was just asked, but just worded differently. The original question was, how do you establish a balance in types of cities within your respective alliances? And then the question goes on to is that, what amount of tanks, what amount of melee, long range, etc. I guess I'm not sure whether the question's asking, do you specify that you want people to be, I want you to be the melee spec, I want you to be the mid range, I want you to be the long range, or if it's actually the types of units that are inside the city. So that's sort of what we're looking for clarity on.
So, I mean, early on, Titans are not strong early on. Most people are not going to have like Thor activated, so that 1-1-1 formation still works, even though I can't stand it. But I mean, I guess your thing, it would probably, if you're a long range player early on, it'd probably be like 25% melee, 5% mid, and 70% back row. That's probably what you're going to be fighting with. In my opinion.
So it's a Russian name. I don't know how to say this. I'm just gonna butcher it.
I'm asking in chat to see if they'll answer.
Well,
But
it's always the same question. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, the other part of that question too is don't dictate to players what they should play. If they want to play long range, let them play long range. If they want to play mid range, let them play mid range.
Hold on. Are you saying you're okay if they go for the melee build?
I
Or
would
if they
love
go
I would love to
half and
have
half?
one. I would love to have one melee player. I really would. That would be
Just
a game
contact flex
changer.
nuts. Contact flex nuts. He'll get you somebody, or he'll be the one.
Yeah. I mean, you can ask for volunteers. Like I asked for volunteers to switch to mid range and got a few, and they're very happy about it. Play what's most fun to you.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying everybody's got to sit melee, right? But let people do what makes them happy. Honestly, it's a freaking game.
Yeah, but
To
you
an
gotta send
extent.
the right formations, KB. You don't want to send back row but no front row. You're gonna
Yeah,
get Maddie mad.
yeah. I mean, it's like you got to have at least some common sense rules. of this. If you're gonna TA with people, like this is your minimum. But like I feel like we're at the point where we don't have to do that. I think people just know not to fuck over each other with their
Oh Lord, I
formations.
wish I could say that, but people
You,
fucked over in our
you
alliance a
you say
lot.
that. You say that, but I made that calculator for people.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, basically, they pick their city level, whether they're long or mid range, and their number of troops, and it tells them exactly how many to send.
Can you send me that calculator? I need it.
No, it's
Why not?
proprietary information, ma'am.
But but I thought you were retiring. Aren't you retiring?
I mean, that doesn't mean it's not proprietary.
Well, KB adopted me, so I
Oh,
Well,
have
that
the
may be.
rights for information.
Yeah. I'll share information, but only those with CCB. Only my CCB kids.
no, it's basically what it is group attack formations. You know, you don't want to send certain units. You want to make sure you send a certain amount of units because you really want to hold your formation to stay in source energy guard as much as possible. And not fuck over everybody else, particularly not fuck over the mid rangers. Because the mid rangers can get fucked fast if people just send shit all willy nilly and don't send front row.
Yeah, and that was probably the biggest change for me in CCB is I just hadn't played with mid rangers, so learning what to send to support those guys, there was definitely a learning curve.
Well, KB, we have two of the biggest mid-rangers players in here, which would be Oxy and Bodisi.
Yeah, I do love my mid range brothers.
Yellow.
Yeah, and I sent a couple of my new mid range converts over to Bodizi to talk to him, and he was very, very helpful.
See, I believe there's like a mid-range cult going around.
You
People
know, I
converting
want
to
I
mid-range.
want to join that cult. I really want to. Like I wanted to change to mid range so bad, but my unworldlies were just too good
Too
not
good.
to.
Yeah.
Just have a second account like I did.
Oh my God, very.
Oh, I got clarity
That
on
sounds
that question.
expensive.
No, I mean, I had an extra city laying around, and I just, well, I don't want to say it on here, but you get the point. I don't run it by myself.
Mm-hmm. So you got clarity, Yor?
Yeah, he is, or they are asking in an alliance, and they understand that maybe you don't want to reveal that information. How many melee focused, long range focused, and mid range focused cities you'd want to have?
You would be lucky to have one melee focused player. Like that is
Yeah,
a
they're like the
very
0.1% of players.
even less than that. Way
Okay,
less than that. Like
0.005.
0.00001. Think about how many players play this game. Think about how many worlds there are. I mean, there's maybe 50 melee players total. Let's be honest. And Flex Nuts has probably mentored all of them.
That's the melee cult.
But so, I mean, ideally, if you can have one melee player, that you're far beyond everybody else because that helps you so much in Elite War, so much in Global. Like it's really a game changer to keep that fight going. Mid rangers,
Mhm.
long rangers, it doesn't matter. You know, you can have 100% mid rangers, you can have 100% long rangers. It's good to have a mix, you know, at least 10 of each or whatever the lower one is.
But if you have one melee player, then that's a good thing too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you can get two melee players, that would be even better. I doubt, I don't think any world has two melee players. It's very expensive.
Wasn't that the boss guy world? He was too.
Yeah, he
No,
has,
that's just one city.
Oh, I thought it was two.
The other city was long range.
yeah, he had a melee and a long range, and it was very nasty when he
Which one did he
played
abandon?
the long.
The long range,
Oh.
and the player who was running the melee City also quit recently.
So both cities don't have alliance and are just out there open?
Well, the Melee City was like 100 mil BP, so.
It was like 170 or so, but
Oh,
he's
was
zeroed
it?
now.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
he
All
took
right.
out
Oh, they zeroed it.
officers, all of that. It was Frenzy. Yeah, he was zeroed in Frenzy. He took out the officers, and now he's like 7 mil BP.
Damn.
Well, once he logs back in and all his troops come back, probably,
Yeah,
maybe, who knows?
but the thing with 581, especially at the start, um, those guys were extremely dangerous because their top three players were melee, mid range, and long range, and those battle reports were absolutely brutal. They were punching up on huge cities, zero issue. I mean, they were just, destroying everything. So, the mix is extremely dangerous.
Hmm. It's like,
Yeah, I mean,
wow, to have all three.
I mean, 2 or 3 of our like top 10 are some of the ones that switched to mid range, and it's making a huge difference.
Yeah, once you start utilizing all of the troops and all of the, special effects that they offer, that's when you start getting like really, really, really good results. Once you throw in, melee in it, it would be just, top notch. But like you said, it is extremely expensive, and um, it would require an actual big spender to be able to maintain and keep up with the growth of the city, and replacing the troops and all of that stuff.
And they would have to take a back seat and realize that they are strictly really a support thing. And like in Void and Frenzy, a melee player's only got a window when they can use Aeon and Alexandria and SOS, and then they really can't fight the rest of the time unless they really want to lose troops.
Yeah.
So our friend Carlos has a question. What point in AOO will be too much for the whales?
I don't get it.
I guess, when does it become too much
As far as what?
in game?
When you stop having fun. I mean, some people just have fuck you yacht money, and they're going to continue to spend as long as they're having fun. The minute they stop having fun is probably when, they're out.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Like, if you don't have fun, why keep pushing? Or why keep
Exactly.
spending?
I don't know. I mean, there are players who don't really do events or not active in events, and they will, favor like one or two, and that's it. And they will buy out the store each and every time.
That's true. We do. I think those people just like to click the buy button.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like a personal, I want to be the biggest or I want to be the best, and like, haha, all of you peasants. I don't know if that's kind of like their mentality, but you do have quite a few huge players that are not active. Like, they will not, do crazy void scores. They will not do like anything. Some might prefer like GC, some might prefer DoD, whatever, and they will push that extremely hard. But other than buying, they're not really doing much.
Yeah, but there's something in the game that is fun for them, Like there's got to be some aspect of it that they enjoy.
I just feel
I
bad
don't.
for the whales who they lost the fun factor and are just there just to carry the nation.
Well, I think it's true for like every player, right? I mean, what keeps us playing at our levels? For me, it's the people. Like, I go through phases where I'm quitting and I'm bored with this game and whatever, but I'm addicted to the people I play with. Um, You know, it's like once you've been playing this long, there's something that keeps you around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
and
me, it's the people.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely the people. You know, the issue for me personally is in this game, there's no way, you know, you can't just build your city and then stop spending and continue to
Yeah.
play even at a minimum level. Like I did that for about 2 months. I was spending like $100 a week just on speed ups and heals. And, you know, I was doing great for a little while, and then that damn plane ruined my day. And, you know, it's impossible to play free if you were a spender at some point, in my opinion. I mean, you're going to have to spend something just to get in a fight.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
And
do. Oh, sorry. Yes.
I'll say, and I think that's how this game is has changed, and not for the better. You know, in the beginning, you could not be a spender and still compete as long as you were smart and strategic about it. And now it's just impossible.
I think that's how the game sucked a lot of people in. And
Yeah.
then as years go by, it just gets greedier and greedier.
Well, and
Exactly.
it's what I always say is it's the sunk cost fallacy, which means you've spent so much money and so much effort on this city that it becomes so hard to give up, and you think you can't give it up.
That is true.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
you
Um,
know, and like we really encourage people who think they want to quit, you know, take 2 weeks off, take 3 weeks off. Um, because it is really hard to give up, and it's really hard to give up the people. And you know, once you leave and your city, you know, becomes zero or you know, non-accessible to you, like I don't know, I've just seen so many people quit and regret it. It's definitely addiction.
oh yeah, definitely addiction. We all addicted. We're addicts.
Oh, I'm moderating us off of this topic because it's getting really depressing.
Okay. Well, let's go to a fun question. A question for the whales, Bodizi, Barry, Maddie, Oxy, maybe Sugar Mama KB, maybe.
sugar mama.
Maybe she could be my sugar mama. Um, have you ever experienced, as a whale, have you ever experienced being catfished?
Catfished?
Catfish. Like some girl coming in, be like, "Hey, you want to be my sugar daddy?" You know? Have you ever experienced that during your experience in this game?
All right,
I
so
just
let
assume
me.
everybody with a female profile picture is a person named Bob. So yeah, I mean, I really until I see the Adam's apple, I just assume
I mean, you
it's a man.
can't see it in the game.
Mm, true.
Yeah, we were talking about this, and I'm nobody's sugar mama, but I'm definitely mama bear, and I'm really protective of my guy friends, and really protective of them from getting catfish because I've just seen it happen so many times.
So you're telling me, Bodizi, you never had experienced this? Like, no girl in your world
No,
came
no,
to you like,
100%. But it's like I never take it seriously, though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like
no, I don't
I
know what you
just
mean.
assume it's a dude named Bob or I, I don't know any
I'm
other male name, and I just really don't care. And this game, I don't like use it to socialize. I want to win, and kind of that's it.
So Bodizi is only here to play. He's not ready to mingle. Barry, have it ever happened to you?
Barry's gonna tell us about his ex-wife.
Never. I've never has
Never.
never. No. I
Have
don't
they not
entertain.
seen your pictures?
I don't entertain nothing. I'll joke around with people, but like these are my like alliance friends. Like I'll joke around, but I'll never entertain something to that extent. I barely even read my messages. So I mean,
Hmm.
I mean, if you go in my city and look around, like you're gonna see probably like hundreds and hundreds of unread mails.
Oh my god.
I
That's
can't.
I can't
Like a
because like if that is my because if I experience where you go to somebody's city and then all the messages comes up because it's like first time logging in, it freezes my phone. Like it freezes me and it makes me not be I can't even touch the game. It's like it freezes terribly.
I have an issue. Nothing can go unclicked or unread.
Yeah, but it doesn't even let me. Maddie, have you ever been catfish?
I mean, I'm in the same boat as these guys. I've had messages. I've had quote unquote people, ask stupid shit, but I never bite. I'm here to play the game. I'm here
You
to
only bite for
socialize.
Raz, huh?
Well, Raz is my bottom bitch, so I make an exception for him. But no, I'm never gonna get catfished. I don't really flirt in
Never
this
say
game.
never.
I mean, aside from asking Nikki to marry me that one time, but now I understand that cost $100 to do.
Yeah.
Where is your moderation? You need to bill that man. He just went around you and
I'll say,
announced it.
I like how Oxy's like just kind of lurking, only to tell me that I'm being a bad mod.
No, but I don't know how people would want to get wrapped up in somebody that's probably halfway around the world or halfway around the country. It just doesn't make sense in my mind. I mean, we had one alliance member that was from Australia, and this was pre-merger, from Australia, who was dating a girl that he met in our nation who lived in Venezuela. They did not even speak the same fucking language. And they were dating. And somehow, even though they're 10 million miles apart, she was abusive to him. Like, I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Well, and I think it happened more during COVID in my first world because you kind of were just locked in your houses. And I think people were kind of looking for something.
Did you guys ever heard of the couple that met through the game and got married? That did happen.
There's been a
Yeah,
few.
Yes, that
I
did
mean,
happen.
it
there
is.
was.
Way back.
I know someone who used to play in the nation that was our first void opponent, and they were both in the same nation. The chick was in Australia, the guy was from US, and he just kind of packed everything up, moved there, got married, and now they're together.
Do they
Well,
still play
damn.
the game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They,
Wow.
There were so many people hooking up with each other in 233. It was like, I don't know, it was like Grinder with a video game attached.
Define hooking up, like physically or like some kind of
Yeah,
internet thing?
yes and no. I mean, most people were internet, particularly because it was COVID and you couldn't fly someplace. But we actually did have people flying to see and then eventually dating other people. And like this one specific example, it was she was a whale, and this just complete like I can't even express my feelings for him. Like catfished her and eventually just ended up living off her in real life and moving in.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean
So that's why,
again,
guys, be
I think it happened
careful.
more during I think it happened more during COVID because people just didn't have their normal social outlets.
Yeah, guys, just be careful out there. Don't trust people.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
date in this game.
And actually, I
For
do
the
have a question.
the newer nation people, okay?
Yeah, I actually have a question for everybody here, and that's: have you ever met somebody on game in real life,
Yup.
and
No,
how'd it go?
unfortunately.
Oh, it was
Not yet.
fantastic.
Yes, actually.
Yes.
The person who was helping me kind of learn the game, she was from 215, and she flew to US first time, and then like a bunch of people flew to Washington to kind of, do like a surprise. So it was a bunch of random people just being drunk with people they've never met before, but they have talked to daily, and it was a great time.
Yeah, for
Well, like,
me, I plan to meet some people, but in the long run. You gotta save money and visit them, It's like it's a travel because not everybody lives close to each other.
Tell us the
yeah.
truth, Nikki. Did you break up?
Break up with who?
I don't know, whoever your online lover was that you were going to meet.
Well, Maddie, you broke my heart, so sorry, we're not meeting up.
Damn it.
You owe me
Yeah, because
$100, like yours said.
like
I'm
yeah, because
joking.
the guys that I've played with like a really long time, we keep thinking we're gonna meet. I've met two people I've played with that just because they live in my same city. It was kind of funny. I met a girl and she ended up being like the stalker nightmare. And the guy that I met, we're actually like really good friends now. And kind of the opposite.
Maddie, a guy from 524 named War Hicks. He said, tell the story, someone asking for money for operation, sending medical records, etc. Remember that guy, Maddie?
Yes.
He really wants you to tell the story.
I mean, what? So basically, there's a guy. Well, I can't even remember his damn name now. But he would go in multiple worlds and he would post these pictures of like him on his deathbed. He was in the hospital, he's dying. But the reality is he was a junkie. And he wanted his drugs. And he even showed his medical records at one point, and it was like very disturbing. But either way, there are many players that send him money. Some people a lot more than others. I was not one of them. I don't play that shit. But he scammed these people out of money, and then every time they would quit giving him money, he would go off on them and type very ferociously at them that they're spending money on this game and not saving his life and blah 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 blah. But he was doing this in multiple worlds, and it was just wild.
Wow. That's a
You
quick
got some
take and
weird people,
burn.
man.
Yeah, in every single nation he would post in, like he would go back. It'd be like a nation in the 200s and use the same message like a year later.
The only money I've ever sent anybody in game is Maddie so he could get his purple planes.
That was a joke, and you're getting a refund, by the way.
It was like $10.
Yeah, I set up a drunk GoFundMe one day. I was like, help Maddie get his purple plane. And people actually donated. I felt so damn bad.
Because it was
But you,
funny.
but you
Well,
have to wait a
I
certain
have
period to
I
refund.
have a GoFundMe tip jar for a new PC for better streams.
See, there are worthy causes.
It's a good cause. It's better than a purple plane.
Is it?
Yes. Think about it.
I don't know. The plane is pretty OP.
But maybe I can play some Diablo 4 with the boys, right?
So you want us to buy you a PC to play another game? Is that what you're saying?
Only if
That
We
it's
is
can
what it
stream
Diablo.
meant.
together the game.
As long as it's Diablo.
I mean, I have it. It's just my laptop does not handle it. But anyways, a good PC I can do better streams, obviously. Because this thing is burning. It's burning up my laptop. Let's see. Where were we? All right, we did the catfish. We did the guy that scammed people. And was there one more thing?
No,
You
I
know
didn't
what?
have anything else.
I had something in mind and then it just escaped me.
Well, problems. We kind of covered that.
Mm-hmm.
That could go on for like
I'm very sad
hours.
that Great One is not here.
I
If you're
I'm
watching,
tech
Great One,
I'm texting him and he's not responding. I
I'm
don't know
not
where he is.
worthy. I'm not a Woody, that's why. I'm not worthy.
Well, problems are you're too busy to join podcasts, man.
Yeah. That's a,
He's got to make the money to be a whale.
I mean, we have Odisi still.
Yeah, but he
I'm
loves
like
you.
a part-time whale.
You're a
Yeah, but he
Like
dolphin.
loves you. He
like
loves
a
you. Great One doesn't love
dolphin.
you.
Like a dolphin at best.
A
yep,
dolphin at best.
I'm an otter.
Yeah, Maddie's
I'm
an
a
otter.
yeah. I'm a nurse shark. We're nice, but don't fuck with us.
I'm not even in the water. I'm a raccoon. With my baby hands.
Fucking
Yeah.
sweat.
You're fucking scrounging for a new PC.
It's for a good cause, guys. Okay, it's a good cause.
Ah,
Feed pigs do really well.
both easy. It's us up and running.
Oh yeah, man. Yep. Gold plane incoming.
Oh man, no more dolphin for you, man. Full
Hell
out.
no. But about to live large right now.
Whale season. Whale season.
It's a whale
Hey,
apocalypse.
it's better than what is it called? The one gentleman who got a GoFundMe and got a C-38.
What?
What? Why didn't I do this?
Huh?
Why didn't I do this? I didn't know that was an option.
I
I
didn't
don't
either.
know.
I didn't get the
Oh,
memo.
what was it? What was the nation? 320?
320.
302? Yeah.
You could just ask Raz for tips.
Man, I would have posted nudes for that, man. That's awesome.
Bro, you can post nudes and then they'll come. You get that free C38. Just say subscribe to my OnlyFans. Get free stuff. Like Bodisi with his feet pics.
Hey, I got nice feet, all right? Not everybody's that lucky.
Some pretty toes.
Prove
Oh,
it.
send me the bill. I want to know. I want so I can stop. I'm thinking heavy. Gold plane for me too. I'm tired of being a sunfish.
Hey, hashtag it's worth it.
Say
What, the gold plane?
Oh yeah. By the way, I'm totally kidding. If anybody thinks I'm serious, I'm kidding. It's a joke.
No, people are ready to buy your feet pics.
Yeah, there's
Wink,
good
wink.
money in that.
I
mean,
don't know what's
it was
alarming.
oh,
Go ahead,
you go.
Maddie. I'll say what I have to say after.
Oh, I was gonna say the gold plane is never gonna be worth it for what it cost, but due to the recent changes, it's even less worth it in my opinion. I know we talked about that a little bit, but
Yeah, no, I've 2 days ago or so, I've been going after the same person, and I've been getting 100 more kills. So it is a pretty significant, and there are battles where the skill that disrupt it does not stick 2-3 times after the gold skill is activated.
So they've changed like the whole mechanic of that then entirely.
Yeah, they just made it like too good to be true, made players want to push for it, and then it seems like they kind of downgraded it slightly.
So like everything piece ever.
I guess. Yeah.
It's always the same with these motherfuckers.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
it affects what, like 20 people in the whole fucking game? I mean, seriously.
Camel's always honey dicking you. Always.
Always.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't here for like when Titans were released or anything of that sort, so I don't know how it was previously. But this, it was, 100 more kills out of, what, 500. That's a big difference. So it went from being like absolutely OP, the absolute best in game, and now it's still very good, but it is expensive, and you know it will kind of make people think a little bit more whether it's worth it or not.
And he's talking about 100K kills, not 100. So
Yeah, so I'm getting more, like 100,000 more kills per battle in uranium mine, like now than before.
All
womp womp.
right. All right. I did not really realize the time, but guys, we're almost at 3 hours.
3 hours.
You
Three
guys have been
hours. We've been having a good time. We've been chatting, you know?
Damn.
Yeah. And you were like, I don't want to stay here. I want to play Diablo.
I
I
am
want to stay
playing
here for an
Diablo.
hour.
I still got 20% left on this damn Diablo game
What to
to download.
download?
Yeah,
Maybe next stream will be Diablo. We're all gonna be playing Diablo 4.
ridiculous. Boldeezy, I still got to send you those screenshots of that city so you could kind of get.
Shoot him over.
I will, absolutely.
Look at them
I'll do it.
sending nudes to each other. How dare they?
No, it's either city picks or feed picks, one of the two. Barry was the one that put me on that hustle, so
Gotta shout me
Now you
out.
guys
Gotta shout me
know
out.
if you want
that's
to
right.
join into the hustle, contact Barry. Slide to those DMs.
Yeah, nah, I have no problem pimping you out. I got you guys. I get up and running.
Barry's gonna keep the business running. He's gonna pimp everybody out. Especially V time. Let's not forget about V time.
Definitely
Very
can't forget about Vita.
annoying. All right, so I'm gonna end the stream because, like I said, we're already at the 3 hour mark, and I gotta get ready for work. I have like 30 minutes. I didn't even realize the time. Oh my God. Um, Maddie, can you tell Great One that I'm very sad that he did not come to the podcast?
I will tell him. I
Thank
will.
you. I mean, he won't
Tell him he
cry
owes.
himself to sleep, but he left me he left me, how do I say it? Not a good impression. I'm sad. I'm very sad. But I hope everything's okay with him.
Publicly shame him.
Publicly shame him, guys.
Leave that
Um,
man alone.
I want to say thank you, KB, and thank you, Maddie, for coming over and telling us about the history of 524. Great nation, very strong. Thank you very much for sharing with us. Um, did you guys have a good time?
No,
Yeah.
terrible.
This was my
Fuck you,
first
Maddie.
podcast, man. This is my first podcast. So, yeah. Thanks for
Thank
having
you,
me.
Mama Bear. Thank you, Mama Bear. True homie. Unlike Maddie. Instead of being an otter, you should be a grouch. A grinch.
A grouch?
A grinch.
Is that like a groundhog Grinch? What is that?
Yeah, you're a groundhog now.
Because that sounds amazing. A grunch.
Grunge. Here comes the
That's your.
grunge.
That needs to be your new name.
Maddie the grunge. Instead of Maddie the dictator, Maddie with a broken rib and all the other names. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Barry and Bodisi and Yor and Oxy who left us early. Thank you for
Didn't say.
everybody who's been in the chat. What, Barry?
Sorry.
It's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you for the chat, people who chatted and asked us questions. I do plan on making a podcast on Friday. I feel like we should do podcasts every Friday or every other Friday. What do you guys think?
sure.
Well, I mean, you've been doing 5 a week at this point, so
Listen, homie, listen. Look, guys, look. You know I'm not monetized. you do realize that I'm not monetized. And your girl's trying to get monetized. And there's this stupid requirement from YouTube that I need 4,000, no, yeah, 4,000 watch hours. My videos are not long enough. And I take way too long with my videos. And yeah, I get it. I take too long, but hello, you get masterpieces. It's not easy for me to make a masterpiece and I can't do it fast. I'm sorry. I'm just I'm too much of a perfectionist. I want things to be good. I want things to be funny and to be enjoyable. So that's why I take long. So Void 151 video coming soon. Be on the lookout because it's coming. Um but the reason why I'm doing podcasts is to get those watch hours so I can be, monetized. And podcast live streams are apparently they do help out in pushing that watch hour. So yeah, that's why I'm doing them. But another reason why I'm
We
doing it
got
is
you,
that
big
they're
head.
very fun, right? We're having fun. I'm having fun, and then we guys are interacting. I mean, I hardly ever interacted with people who are subscribed to my channel or who follow me. So I feel like this is a good, a good thing for us to interact and learn about each other, right?
So time out, Nikki. It does give you watch hours.
Yeah, Barry, it does.
What?
We're all gonna be sitting
Yeah.
on podcast every day now to like get each other monetized.
Because I'm only at 647 hours.
Yeah, so if you
Watch.
do live stream, hey, you can start streaming Diablo 4 and then get them views.
Man, I need to start making videos again.
Barry. I already told you, but you need time. You need time. Because to make a video, it takes a lot of time. And if you're working,
Well,
it's, kind of hard to do that.
so I mean, you need to get 400 hours every month and continually get that as long as you want to be monetized. That's a tough hill to climb for a lot of people.
Yeah. But
Drivers, it's just
from what I've seen from the last three, this is our third podcast, right? Yeah. So from the last two that I have done, the watch hour number bumped up way faster than on my regular videos because, like I said, a podcast it's much easier and I can just go on for 2 hours, which apparently watch hours, the video needs to be long. 10-minute video is not enough, which unfortunately all I can do is 10, 5, 7, and 15. And I haven't pushed for 15 for a while. I think the last video I have made that was super long, that was 22 minutes, was the second void we had against 99. It was the Star Wars video. That was the only one that I have made it so long that it lasted 22 minutes. But watch hours only worked when the video is long. So a lot of people do live streams or podcasts bump the watch hours and to get to that requirement number.
See, for the last 10 minutes, all you've been doing is padding your stream time.
damn right.
Oh my god. Please, I mean, come on, help a girl out, okay? I want to be monetized. I've been doing YouTube for so long, editing and all that. I
I
think
mean,
I should get monetized.
you get like $12 for every 1,000 views, right?
Hey, everybody started from the bottom
Now we
and
here.
then they grow, you know? Maybe one day I'll be a big YouTuber. Who knows, right?
Living the dream.
Living the dream. But hey, I have fun and then we'll have fun and have a great time. And plus the videos are more for memory's sake. Like you keep this for a memory. And if you want to go back to it, just like, oh yeah, we did that or yeah, that happened, you know? You catch my drift?
I guess.
Oh my god, you're such a
I'm just
Debbie
mess.
Downer.
I'm messing with you.
I know, it's okay. But
I
yeah,
just
and one last thing I'm gonna say that this podcast, I'm not sure if Maddie has told everybody, but can I say it or you're still in limbo about it?
no, I'm not in limbo. You can say it.
So guys, this is Maddie's retirement party.
I don't
Maddie's
know
gonna
about.
retire. I mean, yeah,
I
we're having a
am.
party. We're all here. We're all
Well,
here hanging out, talking about the game, talking about 224. But yeah, our little Maddie, the little otter that he is, he's gonna retire from the game apparently. So I wanted to do this podcast for him, for 524, and for people to know the great 524 and, talk about it.
I think you
So,
asked me to do this before I said I was retiring.
shut up, Maddie. Just go with it.
Just saying. Yeah, no, I've realized that this game is just too much of a time and a money sink for me. And we just won Global Conquest, so I feel like I'm going out on a high note. And there's just not a lot I want to do in the game anymore. So I feel like it's time to move on.
Yeah, and like I have said many times, we will all get to that point where we will meet our retirement.
Yeah. And
Some
I
sooner
think,
than others.
yeah, I could keep going for another year, but the end result is going to be the same. The longer you play, the harder it is.
Yeah.
So
So not to end the stream on a sad note, because I'm getting depressed already.
it's not depressing.
KB,
Yes.
is it not depressing?
I'm still kind of in denial. I think we all are.
They think I'm kidding again, like the time I bruised my ribs.
No. Actually, we know you're not kidding, and that's why we're in denial. If we thought you were kidding, we would just laugh it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be around for another few weeks. I've got some things to do. I've got to get some things sorted out. So I'm not leaving like tomorrow. I want to leave things in a good place and exit the right way with my alliance and my nation that way.
Yeah, and this will set you up for problems of the R5. Right now, we're fighting on who has to take it.
I like that wording. Who has to take it?
Because someone
Nobody wants
has
it.
to take it.
Can I
Yeah.
just give one advice to Maddie? I have quit this game like 3 times. The longest time was like 2.5 months. I recently quit for like 2.5 weeks or so. Delete the Discord.
Yes.
Delete the Discord because the messages will not stop. You will still be involved one way or another. And if you actually want to like get out and enjoy some of your time, all of that stuff, just delete the app, and then you can reinstall it later. But yeah, that would definitely be something I would do now.
No, there's zero chance of me coming back, just to be clear.
I said the same thing too.
I mean, this is not a break. It's hard to put into words, but no, my time has come to an end. For
Alright,
sure.
well, not to leave it on a sad note. Barry, you have a very cute dog. What kind of dog is it?
American Bully.
Oh, he's so cute. He's so chubby.
Where's a dog?
In his Discord. He's such a cute
She's a
dog.
little.
Oh,
How old?
it's so fluffy.
2 years old.
Oh, still a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Alright,
getting used to
guys. Getting used to what?
the new house.
Oh, you got a new house.
Yeah, just moved in yesterday.
Nice. Closer to
Yeah.
work?
No, a lot further from work. It's awful.
Oh, that's why you're going through the Boston traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Alrighty then, guys. Well, now I have like 20 minutes to go to work.
Enjoy
Oh,
that.
Lord. I'm not, because I have to dress up and then I have to go get some coffee and then something to eat. It's not gonna give me time. I won't have time. Damn. But whatever. I had fun. I had a great time being with you guys. I had a great time talking to you and chatting. Like I said, we're gonna have a podcast on Friday. Just be on the lookout, and 151 Void video coming out soon. Keep an eye on that, like I said. And yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Great.
Yeah,
Laters.
bye.
Bye.
All right, take